That's bad enough of that. Hello, I'm Corey, and that would be Lori, except she's making me a cup of tea. And this is the stream. I see no viewers on. We might not have anyone.
Well,
I
that's
didn't
fine.
announce it properly.
Could be.
We can do it just for ourselves,
We can. There we
and
are.
later export to YouTube.
Uh-huh. All right.
Ah, so I wonder if I did this right. I don't know if I should be a streamer or a bot.
What?
Probably a streamer.
You're a streamer. You're not a bot. All right.
No, it doesn't work. Let's try bot.
Really?
Oh, maybe I didn't connect this. Bot.
Connect.
Connect. Boop.
All right. There's people.
Now I can be a bot.
Yes, there we are.
Hey, people. That's why we
Yay.
didn't see anyone.
Right, because we weren't properly connected up there.
Yeah, I
Hello,
had,
everybody. Welcome
I had
to
my
this.
Streamlabs corrected, but not my Streamlabs bot.
Welcome to this very summer day.
And I think the posted, let's go look at the on break message. It says here, Going for the Glory live stream, and has a picture of the entrance to Shapir from Quest for Glory 2. And I think we're going to be playing some Quest for Glory 2, but we're also going to be talking a little bit about puzzle games.
Yeah. Side distraction for all of you, I'm sure.
So our fantastic artist JP has been...
Did you get up the Slack and show them
I
the
didn't
picture?
bring up the
Yes,
Slack,
you should
and I should do that.
So yes, we have been talking about doing a puzzle game for many, many years after, the success of Dr. Brain and the fact that, this is sort of Corey's thing. Yeah, get that picture up there.
Okay, so
Can you get that magnified?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
so here's some of the things. Here's our Slack channel where we discuss things, but
That's our work channel, yeah.
that's our work channel, and this is
A concept painting.
a concept painting by JP for Puzzleworthy.
Can you get the front gate too? That should be
I
there
can
too.
probably get all sorts of things, whatever's in this channel.
Yeah, well. There, that
yeah,
one.
there's here's one of our ideas for the front gate of Professor Puzzleworthy's mansion, sort of. It's a mansion,
Yes.
and the idea is to use a Art Deco style.
Yes, you can see the time period is roughly
30s.
30s, but it is what is it? Not steampunk. So there's another name for it of when it's that era. But yes, we'll go with
We'll call it Deco Punk.
decopunk style. So science fiction slash 30s, 20s, 30s era.
Yeah, sort of like when the science fiction stories from the 30s that were very optimistic about the future and a lot about space. And I used to...
Diesel punk, yeah, diesel maybe, but we're not using a lot of diesel. We're in the
not a lot
gas
of
stage.
diesel, yeah. Maybe.
Yes, we're in alternative
reality.
and alternative energy sources.
We're sort of in a Tesla, electricity, so it could even be an electric powered car for all
Yes,
we know.
it could be.
But I was saying that when I was a kid, young teen, like around 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there, I loved reading. I read Rick Hard, I'm sorry,
Who?
Nancy Drew and
Yeah,
Hardy Boys. But what I really loved was Rick Brandt and Rick Brandt Jr. And they were kind of science fiction oriented adventure stories. And so this, and I think that actually started in the 30s. So we could, we're going to have some of these things where we've got stuff going on, and it's got a kind of a Castle of Dr. Brain ambiance. But we've been looking at a number of puzzle games and getting ideas from them, and trying to decide what the scope is going to be. I just played some of Jonathan Blow's The Witness, which got a lot of hype and also some negative publicity when it came out. And the thing is, that's got a beautiful, lush environments, but it's really only got, at least as far as we've seen, one type of puzzle. Let me see if I can find.
Yeah.
See if I can find
So
that.
we can show this game, and if you like this kind of puzzle, you should maybe like this kind of game.
Okay. Oh, there's a Steam.
There's
So,
the puzzle agent too that you need to show.
yeah, Puzzle Agent is one I really enjoyed. That's a Telltale Games, which did the Monkey Island mini games, but it's from 2010 by Telltale.
Yeah, Tashtari says they couldn't get into the Witness for all the hype it got. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a Hero U, is the shape over here, no doubt.
Yeah, clearly. All right.
Okay, so this is The Witness, or loading screen for it.
And
Looks like it put us where we left off. That's interesting.
really, oh, that frustrating puzzle. Okay, so look at this lovely, lovely environment.
And
It's really very cool.
it's a weird interface because we're used to various moving around with the mouse, but in this one, as far as I can tell, you can't move with the mouse, but you can move with the keyboard while aiming with the mouse. So we've got these fields. I just went over the wall. They didn't have me jump or anything. Here we see a pink cable, and it's coming from this signpost. That's one of the puzzle things that we've previously solved.
Yeah, you can see we've solved
And
that. The
we
pink.
turned on power to here, and
Apparently, the whole purpose of this is to get that energy cable to go to every other puzzle in the game,
yeah.
or open a gate, or something like that. So
Something
that
like
is
that.
their puzzle.
So that's kind of the meta puzzle. And this one is turned off. So if we look around here, we see we have in the puzzle we have a tree structure of computer science, and there we see
A real, honest to goodness
a tree with an apple in it,
or at least a virtual simulation of an apple.
and it's a green tree as opposed to the pink one, so that tells you it's important.
Yeah,
Uh,
or so.
So,
Of course, we did not understand this.
well, I kind of did. I figured out this part, but or maybe not. Maybe I looked at it. Oop. Okay.
You found it finally.
Yeah. Well, we had it actually on before. It was already
That
there.
was okay.
That one was
It's
already
right.
solved, and but because I failed at the next one.
Yeah, since this is a serial line, if you fail one part of the puzzle, then oh my gosh, you've got to go back.
So here's
and
this thing. So
turn it
basically,
all
all these puzzles involve these green billboard kind of screens or screens that are in the middle of nowhere, and then they have an obvious starting place.
We're in the middle of the game, The Witness. We're showing off how The Witness plays.
And then you can follow the various paths through. And this is a tree structure. It's an inverted tree structure. Normally in computer science, you would start at the top of the tree and work down.
But they're playing with the idea of tree and real tree.
Tree and tree, yep. And so behind this billboard is a tree, and up in one of the branches is an apple. So you're supposed to figure out, like, you're coming up from the trunk. It branches out in two places. We're going on the right one, then we're going the left one, then the left one again, and that will get us to the destination,
In theory.
in theory. So we could, when we click, it'll take us to the close-up. So we said we're going to the left
The
one,
right one,
right one,
and then the left one.
and then the left one, and then we're not sure. 'Cause we
And
can't
then-
really tell where that blew. Let's try right.
You
Oh, that
found
worked.
it! Yay!
And so that gets us through that puzzle and lights up other things. But we should actually go back to the beginning of the game and start a new game so you can see what it's like at the beginning.
So this is an interesting puzzle. Or can you go? So we're not.
Oh, I can
in
move.
this-
Yeah,
yes,
well, I guess I was waiting for it to load, but it was already
Yes,
loaded.
it's already loaded.
So we're going down this tunnel with no real clue what the interface
Yes.
is or anything else at this point.
It's
And you come to the end of the tunnel, and there's a blinking light. And you click, and if I wait a few seconds, we'll get this diagram that shows the right mouse button lit up. So you click the right mouse button, and nothing happens, because that is, in fact, the interface for leaving the puzzle. And it took me 3 or 4 tries to figure that out. So here there's an obvious, so you ignore that entirely and hit the left mouse button,
Which activates the puzzle and activates that line.
and then you can draw the line, and it kind of blinks, and you click.
And that opens your door.
And that's it. That's the main type of puzzle. And the tree puzzle is sort of an advanced version of this. So you come through to the next puzzle.
Oh
and
my
this,
gosh.
And this complicated one. Oh, what should I do? I don't know.
Use the right button, clearly.
Use the right button, clearly, but that isn't it.
Now
so,
we have to go upstairs.
and there it looks like you can do the puzzle again, but actually that's the one I just solved. And then you can go up the stairs and you get these environments. Interesting color scheme, interesting, 3D
Now
environment.
look down and
etc.
see your shadow. You actually have a shadow if you're in the right place. You're in the shade right now. You got to go out in the sun.
Okay, if I go out in the sun,
Go all the way out in the sun.
there
you
we
are.
go.
You get to see.
There
you
we
have
have
a
the shadow of yourself.
And
Looks
you
like
do
you're wearing
have
a knit cap, doesn't it?
It's hard to
Maybe.
say, or hair. And you are moving, so that is and it does follow a path, effectively, of a shadow.
And that's the only way to tell where you are.
And that's, as far as we could tell, the only real animation in the game, other than the lighting
Yeah,
up.
and there
of
are
things.
some sound effects. I thought at first there weren't any because they were pretty subtle. And apparently there are some audio logs hidden here and there through the game. So this one is one of those puzzles that you click on and you can't go anywhere. All the paths are blocked. So then you see, there's those 3 cables coming in, and presumably you need to activate those cables. Now, why they have you do a right click instead of an escape to get out, I don't know. Why you can't move from the mouse, well, yeah, they wanted to keep it simple, but whatever. So here you have a more complicated one that's actually kind of a maze. If I come into this room, this one is a black screen because we have not powered up the screen. So essentially what you're doing is turning on all these power cables.
And that seems to be the whole of the game.
Yeah.
As far as we've managed to come out.
Not a lot of variety. Seemingly not. Hello, LSU. We actually had the debate about whether we're going to talk about puzzle games or Quest for Glory 2 today, and we're actually doing a little bit of each. I've been doing research for what to do for Puzzle Worthy. The thing is, when I did Castle Dr. Brain, Ken Williams had the idea of, let's get back to ourselves, do you think? Did you want to do this, or?
No, you can,
Okay,
while
leave
you're
that.
yakking, you can
Well, I'm
yak.
yakking. Okay. You have to right click first.
Right click. Oh.
Get out of that mode. Yeah. So in 1988, I went to work for Sierra, and 89, we released Heroes Quest, which later became Quest for Glory 1. And the following year, we actually.
I hope you all are getting seasick, because this would make me
I
seasick.
would be if I looked
Yes,
at
he's
it.
not looking in there.
Oh, I'll
for
just
a
look
reason.
up at the lights and go blind
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah.
So Sierra had a principle that with the series games that they only did them every other year, so that way they would not interfere with sales of each other. And they figured they were good for 2 years for each game. So normally, having released a game in '89, if we were going to continue the series, Heroes Quest 2 would have been '91. But Heroes Quest surprised Ken and everyone at Sierra by selling way better than they expected it to. So they decided, since they did not have a King's Quest coming out the following year. My game is confused.
Yeah.
Anyway, they decided to have us do Quest for Glory 2 immediately after Heroes Quest. So we scrambled to come up with ideas for another game, but fortunately we'd had the series kind of planned out in the first place. 90 we did Quest for Glory 2. But as we got into late 1990, Ken Williams was talking about doing a merger with what was the company that made educational games?
Bright.
No, wasn't that one. He had talked about a merger with Broderbund, but
Yes.
the name that escapes me at the moment, wanted to do a merger with. Anyways, he decided that there was this big educational games market that Sierra wasn't making any money from, and Sierra had done educational games early on, so
Well,
he
it's
said,
been done children's games.
yes, this is The Witness, Kyron X. And Lori's just playing this background while I yak. Ken wanted all the designers to come up with ideas for educational games, and Lori came up with Mixed Up Fairy Tales, which she figured was an easy sell to Ken and Roberta, since Roberta had done Mixed Up Mother Goose.
Yeah, we thought we'd do a series. I proposed it. I proposed a lot of games.
Yeah, we each proposed 5 or 10 games. And I proposed this thing called Castle Dr. Brain that was actually based on a Ken Williams idea called Meta Magical Mansion. And I figured because he had come up with the idea that he would love
It was
me
actually
working his idea.
mathematical.
It was Metamagical.
It was mathematical because yes.
Mathematical Mansion?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, go look at that puzzle.
Okay.
So she has opened up one of the power conduits, and that flipped up one of the blocking strips. So you can see you can get a little further into the puzzle now than you could have. Anyway, back to my yak. So Castle Dr. Brain, I said, okay, no problem. I'll do this series of puzzles. And what I did is I bought a bunch of these puzzle magazines that you used to find in bookstores in the magazine racks. And I said, we'll just, take, crib from that and take some of the more interesting puzzles from that and put it in the game. Well, I very rapidly discovered that would not work, because what works on paper does not necessarily work in an interactive computer environment. And so I kind of despaired, but started saying, okay, well, what kind of puzzles can we do that are interactive? And the first one I thought of was the old Simon game, which is, even before it was called Simon, they trademarked that. Had been a popular game, and the idea was to repeat a set of colors and or sounds to make a pattern. So we used that as the doorbell for Castle Dr. Brain, and came up with some other ideas for it, but it ended up being a whole lot more work than I thought, because I wanted to have a whole variety of logic puzzles, mathematical puzzles, word puzzles, and so on. And that, to me, when I thought about doing another game like Dr. Brain in the 21st century, said, okay, I should come up with all these puzzle types and stuff. It turns out that what they call puzzle game these days is entirely different than that. So the prototypical puzzle game is the Match 3 puzzle, popularized by PopCap and a number of others, where you're basically got a bunch of colors on a screen, colored squares, blocks, and you've got to get 3 in a row or more of the same color and stuff. And people did endless variants of that, as if there wasn't any other type of puzzle they could do. Much later, The Witness comes along, and I'd heard, this is a game of discovery and puzzles and so on. And to my surprise, all the puzzles in The Witness are kind of the same type.
Yeah, this is The Witness.
It's basically, lovely environment, and as you wander around it, you find these displays, and you draw a line. And that powers on something, takes you more. And there's apparently about 150 of these puzzles in here, but they're all the same type. Another very popular puzzle game right now is Wordle, which Lori and I play every day and compare results with Gene Dvorak. I think I've got the right syllables. Gene Dvorak, and we compare results on Facebook many days. And there's a game called Connections, where you have 16 words and you try to put them in 4 categories. These are all free games that are very popular on the New York Times website. So there's a lot of puzzle games out there, but each one seems to be based on one category of puzzle with endless variations. And so I started thinking that, maybe that is, it's the way people are doing puzzles. Not necessarily what I want to do, but it's certainly a way of doing a puzzle game. Is try and come up with something you can do. You have to go to the right.
Have to go to the right.
No, I'm wrong.
Okay.
Right is wrong.
Right is wrong.
So anyway, we're looking at these things, and I'm kind of, resolving. Meanwhile, JP has been drawing these lovely screens. Let's go back to a JP screen.
Okay, well, kill this game.
I think I might just be
although
able to tab
I
out of
think
it.
while we were talking about it, I mean, I think we should talk about The Witness. We've,
Yep,
I would have just kept the picture.
I could have.
While we were talking about it, you know.
But I wanted to have this eye candy up there.
Yes, but when you're talking about something, you should
Talking about
have.
the witness, we should have the witness up.
Yes, all right. You're back to just go over your overview
Anyway.
again.
Anyway, so the question is, what kind of puzzles do we want? Do we want to have one class of puzzle that has dozens of variations throughout the game? Do we want to have many different types of puzzles, as in Castle Dr. Brain? And do we want to have like word puzzles and number puzzles, or do we want to have more environmental that are closer to adventure game? And so that's kind of what we've been trying to work out and brainstorming and stuff.
Actually, we know what we want, so it's not like we.
Well, tell me what we want. Because
what we want is a variety of puzzles. We basically want to do something like Dr. Brain that has the same kind of variety of things. The question but above and beyond, we want to have a plot, and we want to have characters, unlike Dr. Brain, so that you will have a distinct character that you're playing. Because when it comes to The Witness, you see that it is a very Myst-like game, in that you have no voice, you have no narrator, you only have a character. You're walking through an environment, and they don't even give you a plot, as far as we can tell.
There's no plot. There's no text. No clues, other than finding increasingly difficult puzzles. We came up with one very difficult one very early on in the game, and it was like, what's going on here? It's got black dots in the pathways, and it's got black and white squares here and there. Predetermined characters per puzzle. No, your character is whatever we come up with as the protagonist.
Yes,
And
you'll
we've
have
got-
a protagonist.
and we have an idea of who that is, but
We have several ideas.
still could
yes.
change our minds.
That's the point. But
So
Witness has no
has no protagonist.
has no voice.
Yeah, has no voice. There are apparently some voice messages that are sort of like, if you were to call somebody up, remember telephones, and get their answering machine or digital answering machine, then with a pre-recorded message. So there's some pre-recorded messages that are like quotes from, I guess, Einstein and Plato and stuff like that. Apparently interspersed through the game. I haven't encountered any of them yet in the 2 hours I played it.
So it does not seem like there is any story to be found here. And
Yeah.
you just go through this environment of turning on switches, which does not seem to me to be the most compelling gameplay that I know of.
Whereas Castle Dr. Brain has the patina of a story.
Yes.
You are applying for a job as Dr. Brain's lab assistant, and first you have to get to his lab to talk to him, and there's this whole series of puzzles you go
Right.
through, and you find out as you're going along that this is your job application test.
So we are going with
Solar
something.
punk. No, I wouldn't call it that, but
Oh, but that would be cool.
that's a cool name.
We don't have enough solar energy yet, but we do have some ideas for it.
Okay,
So, at any rate, we
so,
did not.
make a note. Solar energy puzzle. We can
Okay.
do something with that.
Well, yes. That's
Have to
where-
arrange the solar panels and then get the conduit working. You have to install your solar energy system.
That's true. Just have real life.
Yeah.
Give all the parts.
Well,
Go for it, people.
Yeah, it'll be
It'll
entirely.
be like IKEA.
yeah, it's like IKEA, but
solar
you're
powered
install
by
your own
IKEA,
solar
yes.
panels.
Therefore, you would have all the frustration of actually doing something in real life. Mhm.
Behind Lori, you'll see 2 new bookshelves from IKEA, and we actually got someone to build them for us. I've always built my own IKEA furniture in the past, but this time around we said,
All right. So that
Let's let
was
somebody else
The
do it.
Witness. It did not rate highly with us.
but but it's got some interesting things, and the idea of intuitive exploration of how the puzzles work and so on. You eventually work it out, except mostly I ended up after getting frustrated about half an hour in and
Yeah, well-
looking at a guide for what the puzzles are.
literary and artistic
Uh-oh.
movement.
Magic Pig Detective, we're working just fine as far as we can tell. It's running, but people do have freeze ups occasionally, and if you can't hear us, well, then you won't know what to do.
Yes.
But I would suggest restarting. Do a F5 or something to restart your
That's
your page for your
that's
browsing.
that's Steam. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Works towards actualizing, a sustainable future interconnected with nature and community. I like the idea. Yes.
Oh well, that might be what The Witness is all about,
Well,
actually, because they've got
it's not really solar.
sort of the
We're
natural
not
environment.
seeing anything there.
Yeah, The Witness. I don't know if Lori went by it, but there was like a couch
I did
and
not
some
get to that.
cushions and
Yeah.
stuff that looked like we're not that old, but a little bit weathered. So maybe you're visiting a place that somebody else lived in not that long ago, or
Maybe there's a story, but so far we couldn't find
we haven't
it.
found
If
anything.
any of you have played the game and actually have an opinion on how, other than they couldn't get into it, because that's exactly.
And Dogstar says the Ray the Witness game, with all due respect, doesn't look like something
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
totally agree with that.
Yes.
It is not I.
So anyway.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I and
yes,
I.
Yeah. I agree.
Or Ja.
But then I was not a Myst fan either, because I did not care for the abstraction of puzzles. And
Now, we don't know much about Myst because we had a very underpowered computer at the time.
we played
And
enough of it to
we
know
played
we didn't.
three scenes of it, and then the computer crashed.
That's okay. We still played more, more
Yeah.
of it again. Yes.
I had the same thing with another old computer playing.
Yeah. Myst at least had a story, and you were trying to get more information, which is what we want to do with our puzzle game, is to have a story and kind of a mystery that you're trying to solve as you go along. And of course, the puzzles are there because we are dealing with a man called Professor Puzzleworthy, and so there he lives up to his name, which is probably an assumed name.
And the game title will be Puzzle Worthy, and that's also a reference to the player as being worthy to solve puzzles and making, showing your worthiness through solving puzzles.
Well, the other game he recently took a look at.
Is Nelson Tether's Puzzle Agent. This is from Telltale Games, 2010.
Corey actually reviewed the game.
And I had no idea why. I completed this one, sort of. And that only took me about 5
it
hours.
goes to the wrong screen.
Oh no, I wonder if I can move it. Graham Annable
That sounds like an anagram.
does.
Uh-huh.
Let's try settings. Graphic settings. Full screen off.
Ta-da! What do you know?
No, it's on this screen.
It is. And now, why does it say sound off? Oh, that's, I guess, it looks
How do we
like...
get out of this? I don't know. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Okay, Puzzle Agent. This has an interesting art style. Game number 1, new game.
New
New
game. Yeah.
Press play to start a new game. This one actually has text that tells you what to do. It doesn't put me in a corridor and let me figure out where to walk. So here we are at the FBI. J. Edgar Hoover ability scrolls all the way down to the bottom list, and puzzle investigation is in Z9 or Z9 if you're Canadian. And that must be
And
Nelson
there's sound
Tether's.
effects.
It's got sound, it's got animation. So this is kind of the sort of animation Lori learned in animation class at Kansas College. It's like paper cutout animation,
Well,
wouldn't you say?
no, it really
It
isn't.
kind of looks like that.
It looks like it, but it isn't. So, I mean, paper cut animation is different. All right, so,
And this one has a whole long intro.
right. So we'll just let it play because we
This
don't...
sucker is trippy, says OSU. Yes, I would agree with that. It has a story, but the story is really weird.
All right.
So Nelson falls asleep at his desk because puzzle agents don't have a lot to do with the FBI. And then there's loud footsteps.
Usually means a dream sequence.
Someone has taken his pencil. Actually, I want to see this because having played the rest of the game, if I can figure out if this in any way relates, because that wasn't obvious to me the first time.
Yes.
takes off his helmet, or opens up the mask of the helmet. And Nelson is terrified by whatever he sees and tears up the crossword puzzle. Was it all a dream, or was it real? As Nelson tethers crossword puzzles and ripped to bits, but is there something written on it? Reconstruct it to find out, and then you can say solve it. So I prefer this interface to the witness type interface, which is witness and mist are basically like figure out what the interface is as you go along. These actually, tell you where to click, give you text, tell you what it is you're doing. Okay, so here you have what you think is going to be a crossword puzzle, and it turns out instead to be a jigsaw. So that's kind of weird. And it's a little hard to get to the individual pieces. Does it fit right in there? No, it probably shouldn't, but maybe it does.
State of Illinois. So, yes, let's see what was up here. Chiron X says, it's weird that Jonathan Blow spent 8 years making The Witness without a story after making a game with an underlining story like Braid. So, yes, he certainly went a different way.
So these pieces do not fit perfectly, which makes this a little trickier, but they kind of mostly fit.
Down there. That's
Yep. And this, as I did with the jigsaw puzzles in Castle Dr. Brain, once you get a piece in the correct place, or pieces together, I'm not even sure if they have to be correct, they lock together.
Are you envisioning a mobile game or something for consoles? We are envisioning something that could be played on consoles, just like Dr. Brain could have been played on consoles. It isn't that piece up on the left going into that area. No. The one on upper left goes there. Okay, fine. You can do it that way.
Yeah. Okay, now I can say this. Now this says Scoggins. So instead of solving the crossword puzzle, he scribbled something on top of it. Taxpayer dollars spent, 75,642,000, etc. I don't think that number means anything whatsoever.
But you get reinforcement
Yes.
for every puzzle.
So-
How about that?
Now the hints are done with bubble gum, which you pick up here and there. Used bubble gum. Gives you inspiration apparently. I didn't get any wrong answers before submitting it, so I got maximum 10 stars. And I can click on the how post-it note, and it'll say every piece in its place. Well done. So it reinforces what it is you did. So I think this is a really elegant interface. And this is actually kind of close to where we'd go, except the question is, do we want to put that much of our budget into animation and
I think you have the wrong
voice
number.
and stuff like that?
Oh, I see. An assignment. In the field? No, sir. It's been, yes, quite some time. Uh-huh. Erasers? The foundation of democracy? Oh, absolutely, sir. I agree, sir. Oh, yes, the White House needs its erasers, sir. I'll be on the next plane to... Wait, where?
Welcome to Scoggins. So that was your solving the puzzle was your clue to the story element of where are you going.
Have you gotten the remaster that just came out?
Of what? Of this game?
Music.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
some nice music.
Yes, much more user-friendly, interesting animation.
And they're actually characters and stuff, sort of.
And Arlo wants to write games exactly as they were in the 1990s, even if no one will want to play them.
Well, we're very good at making games that nobody wants to play.
Right.
Or the people do want to play but never learn about because marketing and publicity are hard. Tix has a little
Just arrived in Scoggins, Minnesota.
retro tape recorder.
Population, 754. Temperature,
Cold.
it's cold, and not much to look at. According to the agency, there's some kind of thing going on at the local eraser factory. The whole plant is shut down.
I'll
There's
play
a
them.
weird man
Oh, you
staring
guys
at
will
me.
always be legends in our
Hopefully this
hearts.
won't be a
Don't
big
knock
waste of
yourselves.
time.
Reminds me of Fargo. Yeah, there's a Fargo.
Definitely, yes. We're in Minnesota and it's weird, so that immediately makes it like Fargo.
I have no idea where my hotel is. I might have to ask for directions.
And then we have a clue. Talk to the creepy man. So you click on the creepy man.
Excuse me, I'm Nelson Tethers with the FBI's Department of Puzzle Research. Hello?
Yep.
Okay, and you are?
Bjorn.
Bjorn?
Yep.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Bjorn. Boy, those snowmobiles sure are a bumpy ride, eh?
Yep.
Okay, we have a
Yes,
notebook. Now this is similar to the interface they had in Jane Jensen's
Which one?
what's her series?
Gabriel Knight?
Gabriel Knight. Gabriel Knight. I think.
Well, they know better than you. Don't tell them.
So one of these Sierra games
Yes.
might have been
that
might have
brought up-
been
what
Laura
do you
Bow
want to ask about?
had a notebook that gives you things you can. Yes, do you know about snakes? So in this case, we can ask
Give
about
me
hotel.
directions to the nearest hotel. I'm having a little trouble finding my way around.
You'd never get there. Roads are too slick.
Sir, I am an agent of the FBI's Puzzle Research Division. It can't be harder than the puzzles I see every day.
Not so.
It's really just a matter of trajection.
Okay, on the way to the hotel, you're going to pass 2 traffic lights.
And I was going to stop there because with the character interaction, we can do one more puzzle just to show this is a completely different puzzle than the one we did previously. So this gives us our puzzle rules.
How about that? It tells you what you need to do.
Drag logs onto the game grid and any free space. So we will start off heading south. When it hits a log, we'll bank left or right depending on the log's orientation. And you must hit every stoplight on your way to the hotel. Please submit when you think the logs are arranged correctly.
Ah. Okay. Interesting.
So we're trying to get to the question mark.
And we have 2 stoplights.
So we can go here, which will redirect us this way. We'll hit that. And go here, which will redirect us that way. And then we can go here, which will redirect us this way. And the log that's already in place will direct us around. So, and I can click on rules to see again. And fortunately, it remembers where my logs are when I bring that up. I could do hint. If I had any bubble gum, that would, I don't know if there's some bubble gum I could have picked up by now. Anyway, I will submit this. And it will show that the path the snowmobile will follow. And this is similar to the robot maze that I had in Castle Dr. Brain. That it shows you the path. And says, okay, that works. And so we once again have a accepted rather than rejected. No hints used. No wrong answers. Perfect score. Top agent. And we could ask how, but
We
pretty
don't know.
obvious.
And you get the next animation.
And then you get the animation of him doing that. And off into the distance.
I must have gotten lost. I thought your directions were taking me to the hotel.
They did.
I'm standing in front of the hotel, aren't I?
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
so
Welcome.
kind of a fun, crazy story. And we could ask about
And
things.
we can say goodbye.
I don't know if I can. Okay, say goodbye for now.
And kill the game.
If it'll ever let me inspect the fence. There's probably some way to get an interface.
At any rate, let's go back and read things. Laura Bow did have a notebook in their second game. Yeah. And Arlo says, I'm still surprised with all the feminist women at Sierra. They didn't push harder to make more games to get girls into it. Like they made King's Quest 4 and 2 Laura Bow games, and then they just gave up on it. It all depended upon the designer and what direction Ken wanted to go with the games. It wasn't that we were pushing girls with games. We wanted to get them in, and we thought the educational games would do that. But in fact, Sierra always had a high female audience. Like 40% of the people that played the games were female. So
I'll have 4 that killed it.
therefore, and we did. I mean, we proposed Victoria's Secret, Vicky's Secret, and we proposed some games for.
Yeah, this was Laurie and getting together with Kane O'Hain,
Yeah.
who was part of the writers group with Jane Jensen and was a co-author of EcoQuest. And they brainstormed some games they wanted to do together. And so one they came up with was Vicky's Secret, that was inspired by Victoria's Secret, and that was all about basically women's dress-up fantasies.
Yeah. A girl staying at her friend's house, and her friend is out, and she's going through the closets looking for clothes and things, and puts on a hat, and suddenly she's transported into a fantasy about romance or whatever the hat was. And so we'd have a very funny kind of
So it could be a tricorn hat and they'd be in a
adventure
pirate
game.
romance
Yes,
or whatever.
exactly. So we would do the romance.
Vicky versus
tropes.
Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would have been less naughty than Larry. But who knows?
It's more the fantasy storytelling. Yes, yes. It wasn't about it wasn't that everybody laughed at the Bull Dyke feminist that was in the letter towards Roberta, calling Roberta that because she had dared to have a female protagonist in a game. But that was that time.
Yeah, it's funny that proper shot for a pool game, talking about that snowmobile thing. But there have been computer pool games and bowling games. They're not very satisfying because it's really the physical feel of holding the
makes
pool
those
cue or
games.
rolling the bowling ball that makes those games fun. And putting it on a screen just doesn't really work.
It doesn't have the physical, tactile senses that
Yes.
make the game right. So, first time chat.
Which is interesting because Vibi, who's very active on our Discord, and I thought was active here, so it's interesting. It shows who's a first-time chatter.
I'm still hoping Wizard's Way and further games can be made. If they never end up being made, would Lori consider starting
Sharing
sharing
the
the game plan for the games? Yes, I will. If we definitely know where we're not going to go for Wizard's Way, I will be happy to tell what the story is and the projection of the stories from then on. We'll probably do it as a interactive story type thing. Yes.
Yeah, if we start getting serious enough about Puzzleworthy and Lori makes more progress and we get close to releasing Efeo's Adventure, then that's the point where I'll probably go to a marketing specialist and spend lots of money we don't have to actually promote the company and promote the games. And that might snowball into being able to do things. But right now it's very, very hard to get into anyone's attention unless you're like one of the big top 10 AAA games.
Yes. So Sosie's story continues in Wizard's Way. The rumors about Sophia, Sky's royalty. Interesting.
Did we mention something about that?
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, we didn't know we dropped hints to that, but
Okay.
but it is relevant. More about the Chaos Gate. That's very relevant.
And the Knights and the Aquina. Yes, those are extremely relevant, and it becomes very important for the whole plot of the story.
Yeah, one of the interesting things is the Queen Drat that you can fight, but it's a very, very difficult fight, or you can make a deal with her. And if you make a deal with her, she leaves the castle, and nothing more is heard from, but we've talked about things that,
What are the results?
What are the consequences?
Consequences, because everything has consequences.
Yeah,
It's a problem, though, that when you have a choice in a game and the player has either taken one choice or another, and then there are opposite results, it's hard to get back to having the queen there if knowing that you might have played the game the hard way.
Yeah, you might have done it the hard way and defeated her, destroyed her.
So that means you want to, in game design terms, want to avoid that situation. Yes.
Yeah, so if we had a future thing where we had an interaction with the Queen Dread, it's like, well, wait a second, is she alive or is she not?
Yes, and that has been our problem with.
That was the idea on Quest for Glory of why we had the character saves, that in addition to your stats and things, we saved a very small number of flags for things you had done. Did you send Baba Yaga away? Did you rescue the baronet, and so on?
But the truth was that was creating a branch tree that gets too complex.
And the big problem is that even players who have played the first game might decide to start to play the second game from scratch instead of playing from their saved character. And then we have no idea about what backstory to use.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, so, yes, Bjorn, what a prankster. Well, yes, especially since the path didn't seem to take us right back to where we were, but that's okay. It's a game.
yep.
And VBB says, I would love to know how the games would have reinterpreted the classes like RTR gave more depth to the thief.
That'd be Road to Redemption.
Yes,
Who are
magic
you?
class was my favorite class, so I'd like to see how Wizard's Way updates our knowledge of magic in Gloriana. Yes, and it would be very interesting.
And it's been kind of fun for Lori, certainly, and hopefully for you to do the Summer Days games so that with Summer Days Tilly's Tale, we kind of go more into depth into what is a rogue and so on. Because Tilly is a different kind of rogue than Sean, and you get, some of the same characters in the rogue class and so on. And same thing with Efeo's adventure, you'll get some of the story behind the Wizard's Way and the mage classes.
Oh, yes,
So there's, this is crossover between them.
yes. Yeah, these are the Summer Days games are really filler type of things between the games, but they do give you, they are in the world, they are at the school, and they do, give you more knowledge of the world.
Oh,
And
actually,
they tie into the stories too.
yes. I want to return to just for a second to OSU Brainiac saying Vicky versus Larry. He raises eyebrow. And actually, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what Al Lowe tried to do with Passionate Patty in Search of the Pulsating Pectorals, if I recall. Is do a Larry game from a female perspective. And of course, being a man writing it, didn't necessarily get that, but the idea is there. And so the Vicky's Secrets game could have been somewhat of a Larry game, but from a less embarrassing character and from the woman's standpoint. Because Larry's, the lovable loser.
Right, which is not my idea of who I want to play in a game. I mean, clearly, I like a protagonist that I can relate to, that is intelligent and is fun, fun, period.
And Vicky is not the protagonist of Vicky's Secrets, but Vicky is a airline stewardess and, supposedly has a very adventurous life all around the world. And
your character is going to...
was her college roommate or something.
Yeah. So that was the backstory, and really it was just an excuse to do, have these wonderful fantasy adventures that are just mini games, mini stories that you would figure out.
And kind of like the time travel games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which there have been Legend did one and Roberta Williams did one. Okay, a little bit the full dyke feminist.
Should have sent back a signed photo of the soft porn box. That's very funny, yes.
Don't encourage them.
And Stazik says, hope we had a great time in Europe. We had
did.
An absolutely wonderful time in Europe.
Almost better.
Yeah, well, there's that. But yes, it was amazing to see the places that we went to. And
I just have an occasional cough now. Lori has a periodic one.
Yeah, it was nice that AGDI was able to note the bobble branches in the QFG2.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yes, preference for a
Having
protagonist that isn't sleazy. Yeah.
Haven't intentionally coughed and now.
Are you guys going to do
filling
any
the screen, sorry.
voice cameos for your puzzle game?
I would like to have voice for it. I mean, it really is the modern thing to do. And
Well, we probably will only have a like.
it'll have much less dialogue than.
Right. No, but we will have a
Say
main
who it is.
protagonist, and we will probably do the Sean thing, but of having them actually talk about when they enter the room and what their impressions were, which means we will have a strong narrator's voice, effectively. Because I do find that games like The Witness and that should just be cold for me and uninviting. but having a character that you're following, whether you see them or not, and that's the real question that we're working on, is whether we have a protagonist that's visual or we have a protagonist that is first person, and so you are the protagonist and can only see what you look like in the reflective surfaces and things like that.
And once again, how much we choose to spend on the game.
Yes, that's the other key, right?
Graphics and voiceovers and so on are more expensive than text.
Right, and we're pretty good with the text part, but not so much with the money part. So at any rate, that's what we're doing on our summer vacation. We're going to be doing a lot of research into the different games. So far, our opinion of Puzzle Agent, well, Corey wrote a whole review of it. It is entertaining. It's visually interesting.
Oh, that's what you're commenting that I reviewed it.
Yes, you did. You reviewed it yesterday. So, yes. Okay. And,
I actually see your own reviews.
okay. But whatever it is, any rate, we do recommend, if you like puzzle games, that you might like this. It's funky, and it's got style, and it's got a voice, and it's
here's some screenshots from
Does
it.
it have heart? That was the other thing I like games to have. Or was it just... I think it does, because after all, you are getting rewarded every time you solve a puzzle. And you feel like you're a star playing those games. So yes, I think that it wins on all school, values of whether or not this is it. This is a good game to play. And did you manage to do it without hints? I only played part of it. So
I used the hint gum. I didn't use any external
Okay.
hints. I did run out of gum at one point and had to solve a difficult puzzle without the hints. But I could probably go back and replay it. Knowing the feel of the puzzles now, I could probably do it without hints.
So anyway,
But some of them are very challenging. So I wrote fun and some challenging puzzles that mostly relate to the mystery story. Amusing animation characters along the way, similar to my game Castle Dr. Brain. I had a lovely time solving most of it. The most of it is once you complete the game, you can actually see all the puzzles you missed or bypassed, and you can actually play them. So that's, what do they call that, day zero mode or something like that. You can go back and just play the puzzles.
so there are two, both this game and The Witness have a problem. And that we would not want for our puzzle games, and that is puzzles that you did not solve, that you did not find, and that was a complaint with The Witness. You could play the game. In fact, other people that played the game said they got to the end and did not know what they had still missed some puzzles, and apparently Corey missed some puzzles in this one. So we believe that a game, if it has a puzzle, it's obvious that you have to find the puzzle and solve it before you can actually, keep going with the game. And
Yeah, a term that's been used in games like Dungeon Master and so on is locks and keys. That there are locked doors that you need to get through in order to solve the game, and that the puzzles effectively give you a key to that. And something like Dungeon Master, it's literally you find a key somewhere.
And
Or
if you're playing
you find a series of buttons to press.
If you're playing a mystery, which this is a mystery game, you would think that you had to solve the mystery, that you had to find all the clues. But then again, it's a matter of whether or not, like Laura Bow and things like that, you might miss some of the clues in that.
Yeah.
And so that makes for replayability, but it doesn't make, from my idea, very satisfying if...
Well, I kind of like the idea, actually, though. With an adventure game, you might have 500 points available, and you might be able to complete the game with 300 points.
Right,
And that kind of would, say, or you're missing some Steam achievements, and that would give you an incentive.
That's
to want to
right,
go back
but that's
and get
not the same thing as a puzzle going toward a solution.
them. And with something like Puzzle Agent, you've got a set story to it, so you're not going to get any more story by going
Right.
through and doing the rest of the
Yeah,
puzzles and playing again.
So you won't miss them. There's no point in going back to the game. and doing those puzzles that you missed because you already got to the solution.
Anyways, that's kind of things we're looking at, but it's still a lot up in the air and figuring out what we can do, what we want to do. And for a long time, I said that I want to do something just like Castle Dr. Brain, but make the puzzles have randomness to them, so they're replayable. So there's one of the first puzzles in Castle Dr. Brain. It's basically you've got a bunch of numbers and plus, minus, divide and equal symbols, and you've got to complete equations. There's just one set of numbers. There is a solution to that. So having a database or calculated thing could give variations. And the last year or two I've been saying, that's just making work for myself. It's not necessarily making it more fun for the players, who if they get stuck might want to be able to look up the answers.
Right.
And
So yeah, we're leaning away from that.
so going back towards maybe having a single solution.
Let's see. For knowing if you solved the mystery in the game, I thought the Colonel's Bequest did an excellent job of that. Yeah, we love the concept of the Colonel's Bequest, and to a certain extent, we actually talked about doing a Laura Bow style game before.
Yeah, Lori was asked at one point what other Sierra game would she like to write a sequel to, and said, if she had to do one, it would probably be Laura Bow.
Yeah, of all the game series. Because I think that has the most potential, and who doesn't like a mystery,
For me, the answer is probably the Conquest series. I might want to do a sequence to Conquest of the Longbow.
Yeah, well. And Arlo says it's interesting. Al Lowe's vision of female Larry is an alpha female, a woman who's a female entertainer and apparently has plenty of hookups. Wonder why you went that route. You'd have to ask Al, which, it was an interesting choice.
I think he thought it'd be a cool twist.
Yeah,
So,
it's definitely like the opposite of Larry, yes. Agreed. I wish they'd done more with Laura Bow, but as stated before, I wish it had more of the female perspective than it did. It is ironic, yes.
That all these games are written by men?
That's what, both Colonel's Bequest, although it was Roberta's game, was mostly written by the designer
Balfour.
and no, Colonel's Bequest was not
Oh.
Bruce Balfour. It was a combination of the programmers and Doug Herring. Doug Herring came up with quite a lot of it too.
Yeah.
So
Doug was in the art team, but he basically came up with puzzles related to the art,
right.
like the the rusty knight that when you oil it, you get killed by its axe.
Yes, fun puzzles like that.
Now we had a problem with that in Lost Caverns of Sokonth was one of the early D&D modules that I enjoyed running, but it had the problem. Actually, no, it wasn't that. It was the other one.
Yes, Gary Gygax.
The Gary Gygax one that's with the Lich. Oh, what is it?
Yes.
Tomb of Horrors.
Tomb of
Horrors that punishes you for doing intelligent, clever things. So we don't like that approach. So like if a thief searches for traps, he can end up setting one off that wouldn't have been even noticed otherwise.
You'd think that at least asked to spend lots of time with one of the women employees to see how they could get more of a female perspective in there. Well, this was the 90s,
So there's the arrogance of the game designer, but there's also the incredibly tight schedules in these games.
That's
You didn't have time to do much research.
You're basically making this up as you go along, and you had no time to do it. So research was not one of the big strong points of Sierra. And basically, they had a female protagonist. They felt they were doing all of the, all that needed to be done. You've got it going, and even then, you were going to get feedback from some guys.
Yeah.
So what can you say?
Yeah, the King's Quest IV. How dare you make me play a woman character? Don't you know it's all, adolescent guys that are playing these games? Said, no, it isn't.
Yes, we.
And the women players had not had any representation prior to that.
Yeah.
So that's the thing when people complain about wokeness and so on. It's most of the time they're complaining about having a black character or a woman character in a game, and it's like, or a movie. And if you look at the thousands or millions of films that have been done without any strong women or without any, you know, minority characters with agency. Maybe it's time there be a few of each. So, you know, I think to the degree that wokeness is putting in a little bit of representation for people that aren't well represented. What's the big deal?
It says that seeing Rosella on the King's Quest 4 box drew them to the game and got them into the Sierra games to begin with. Well, that's
There
great.
you go.
It was exactly what we needed at the time. And yes, the men who complained, you know, still kind of played the game because otherwise they wouldn't have bothered, you know, even dealing with it.
And Lara Croft is basically the female Indiana Jones. You know, men got into her because she had substantial assets, but sure, women like a woman.
Assets, Corey. When she was made out of polygons,
Out of the 10 pixels or whatever, yes.
the 10 pixels or the 40 polygon figures and that, but
Yeah.
yes. But a girl in short shorts is really, you know, wow,
Amazing.
sexy, amazing. She had boxy boobs and things like that.
Holy tracts of polygonal land!
Yes, indeed.
I think Lara Croft was the female Indy Vanellis.
Yeah.
Oh, Laura, yeah.
Yeah,
I
Laura.
read Wikipedia. It said all the movies flopped and no one liked them.
Right. Yes, because, yes, it was 14. Yes, it was the age that the people were hitting it. This was as close as we got. At any rate, that was the, you know, top of the line graphics when that was happening, too. So, yeah, it is interesting that the movies flopped. And that's just probably saying that they were bad movies and that if they'd had the right writer and, you know, and, because I think I mean, I certainly didn't watch them, but I do think that the look of the movies were fine. Yeah.
So as far as you know, staying with tradition versus changing it up, when we did Heroes Quest, we very intentionally set it in Germany. You know, it's your basic Western European setting, and which had been used by Tolkien and
Yeah.
most most fantasy things at that point.
Yes, we wanted the players to be familiar with what they were getting into. Yeah.
And for Quest for Glory 2, we said let's mix it up a little. Let's go to one of our favorite sets of mythology, the Tales of the Arabian Nights, and
And speaking of which,
and that's what I'm doing.
yep.
I'm very subtly, sneakily transitioning us over to topic number 2, is getting into Quest for Glory 2, Trial by Fire. We said we will move you into the Middle East, and we will go into the Arabian Nights stories, and have an entirely different setting, but still the same kind of adventure as in Heroes Quest. But before we get into that, OSU says,
OSU never had a sexy moment playing adventure games when I was younger. I do remember having a moment of, wow, she's beautiful in an aesthetic sense with the EGA close-up of Elaine Marley and Secret of Monkey Island.
yep.
I really like the art style in Monkey Island, the original Monkey Island, better.
And it's a great game.
Yes, so that is one of our
Favorite adventure
favorites
games.
of all time.
Although I still have not actually played more than the intro to Return to Monkey Island, so I need to get to that. But over here I have
Quest for Glory collection.
Quest for Glory collection, and it says I've played 58 hours of that.
Wow.
We need to play some more Hero U. It occurred to me. So I was trying to figure out whether I should continue from the Quest for Glory 2 that I was playing 2 years ago in this stream, or start over. And then I discovered that I've been having problems with GOG Galaxy, and apparently that's where I played it the first time. So we're starting over.
Okay.
Um,
Monkey Island was a masterpiece. Feels very Quest for Glory-esque. I think I told you that when I kayaked to Monkey Island 2 years ago, the instructor had heard of the game. Fun.
There you go. Unwary Diplo
Yes.
says,
Wants to sell us
for
something.
promotion of your channel.
Oh, that's so nice of him.
That's awfully
Unwary
great.
Diplo.
And unfortunately, I can't get there to
You'll
block
have
him.
to escape that.
I'll have to kill this.
Well, we weren't showing
And
it
say,
anyway. And say unwary, sorry.
What do I call it?
You
Is it
say slash
ban?
ban.
That works. Unwary Dip. LOL. Here I was all thrilled that we had
a new writer.
A new first-time chatter.
It's
It's
Cedric.
a Cedric. Kill it.
Yes, we killed it.
There was some discussion of Proxmire in space and Cedric in space on Facebook lately.
Okay.
And there was a discussion of Cedric in space, so I said, I wonder if they're giving him a helmet.
Okay, yes. All right, so we are going to play the second in this series of games that we created for Sierra.
Which would have been called Heroes Quest 2 Trial by Fire. And then we had a little problem with Games Workshop in England saying that they were making this game called Advanced Hero Quest. And they had licensed out a computer version of that, which didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
But somehow they got precedence on the trademark.
And so we lost the trademark.
So we had a little
and so
in-house
the
competition
game
for
had
the
to
title.
change the game.
And Quest for Glory won. So that's what Heroes Quest turned into, Quest for Glory. We liked it, encouraged it, so. And it's probably going to be too loud.
It usually is, but well, that's okay.
Where'd it go? Oh, there we go.
You should show this. Oh, can you get
I don't think I can. No, I can't.
You're
I
always
can.
supposed to do that first.
How would
At
I
least
do
it's
that?
a right.
I could. We'll just upload ones.
Okay, yeah.
Introduction to Quest for Glory 2 for
They
people.
can't see it.
Oh,
Corey, that was what I was trying to say, yes. Ah, but you still have mouse. Can you make...
that's what Lori was trying to say. I thought she was trying to turn down the volume.
No.
This is a nice variation of the music from the first game with a little bit more of a Arabian Nights feel. Or a Lawrence of Arabia feel, let's be honest.
Yes, we went Lawrence of Arabia.
I was a big fan of Lawrence of Arabia, so that was fine. I hope I'm not killing anyone's ears. Sorry to bothering you. Just kidding. Hi.
Hi, welcome.
We're happy to be bothered. Should I interrupt this?
We need to turn down the... No, just keep going and we can talk over it, yes. So the dragon and the djinn alternatively live behind Half Dome, or are they roommates? Clearly they're
They're probably, they're probably in a gay romance.
No, I don't think so. Thank you.
Arlo Hero says, I love this opening, how we stayed with the theme in the original intro. Oh, I think we just got knocked down by the Starship Enterprise. And crash into the city. You no gonna regret this, boss. Guaranteed the best in town, or you no getting your money back. But she had a higher pitch.
It's the legally distinct exit prize.
That was about a nice. Oh, wait, what is that up there? Okay, so this is the offensive version of Italian, but what it really is the Marx Brothers.
No, that costume will not do.
We didn't know that Shima knew magic.
Yes, now
Now you look like a hero. Shapir style.
I really like what they did with the costume. I think it was very fun.
But if
He's
we get
even
close,
got
they see
pointy
all
shoes.
those pixels. Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right.
Now we can start a new hero. I still can't turn down the volume. Should we be a fighter?
No, fighters are boring.
Alright, wizard.
Is
Wizard's
there
got
much?
whip.
Does the thief have much?
Well, fighter's got the.
Oh, the thief have the Baghdad. Yeah, thief.
Thief does what?
Thief has the harem.
I see. Well, she likes that sort of
And
thing.
you could give him magic, and he could be a magic using.
Okay, a thief with magic.
Yeah.
How about that? We'll do a right kick, left click, arrow up. No, arrow right. There we go. Now, you'll notice that I added 5 points to magic, and my available points went down by 15, because it's 10 points to allow you to have something you wouldn't have had otherwise.
Yeah. So we
Are we going to
wasted.
be very magical? We're going to put it all into magic?
No, we're not going to put all.
But 10 points in magic. I need some. Well, we got a lot of agility to start with.
Yeah, we don't need. We'll get our agility from dealing with things. So give us some more magic, I guess, because we have to get some. All right, there. All right, not all. And then stealth. Oh, we got 60.
Yeah, dodge. Dodge is good. Might keep you alive. Weapon use might be good.
Throwing.
Throwing. Okay,
The
yeah.
thief's thing, yes. Add some points to parry too. Do you really? You don't really parry as a rogue. You dodge it. So yeah, you don't have a parry weapon.
Yeah, the parry. The idea in parrying is that you have a weapon that you're parrying with.
Yes.
Thief
Or
just is holding a
shield.
dagger or a shield. So the
Yes.
warrior gets parry because he's using his shield.
Yes, the rogue uses the dodge instead. Yes, that was the idea, and the idea of separate but equal type of thing, that you actually had a real balance to this game, and trade-offs.
What thief characters have you run?
What have I run?
What's a thief name?
Um, let's see.
Thanks for subscription, Juan.
We
Juan FTG.
really appreciated that. Yes.
Nice.
All right.
Let's see. I have a thief named Broggy, based
know,
on the
that's-
Frost Giant in the first
Right.
game.
That's not a good
That's
choice
not very
of
good.
a rogue type of name.
You know, Slippery Jam.
I think more like, let's see,
Slick.
yeah.
Cedric, somebody says.
I think we can live with that. Yeah, I love the costume
Well, it's slick.
too. Love how the whole transition was handled in the game. Why did you change the colors in future games instead of sticking with blue and pink? Mostly because the world was changing. Nah, Slick is a little-
Okay, so why do we have blue and pink? We have blue and pink because we're in an EGA world,
Yeah.
and the EGA has a 16 color palette. There is white, there is black, there is light cyan, there is dark cyan, there is light magenta and dark magenta. There's yellow, and there's red, and not a whole lot else. So, working from a very limited color palette. I guess we have an orange that we use for the hands there.
Yeah.
We went for some of the primary colors of the palette for his.
Right. This was
costume.
a matter. No, I don't like Slick. Let me,
Okay,
Let's find a good name for it.
Steely Dan. I don't know.
Well, it's better than that. Steely?
How about Cedric?
No, I don't want to go
How
through
about
it again.
Proxmire?
No, that's an awful name too.
Bernie Sanders.
Silk's fine. Obviously, the thief's name is going to be
How about
Aladdin in this game.
All right, Silky. Slippery Jam. Yeah, I mentioned Slippery Jam, and no one likes that. Devin Aidendale.
Yes.
Silky Devin.
No.
Silky.
I
How about Silk Road?
no, that doesn't sound like a name.
What's the Silky of us? So scary. Or is that a Selkie?
This Sealy.
Silky, I think.
Oh, okay.
Silky. I don't know.
Selkie. Yes.
Okay, we don't like that though.
Right, it's not the right thing. Ego, Jester, or Wednesday. Huh?
Jester. Okay, that sounds good. We have a thief named Jester.
All right, and so clearly we have a sense of humor.
It is not amazing how quickly we have set up this inn? The Kata's Tale is already the center of Shapir's entertainment. Where else can you watch Shima dance? Dance! 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 You know you will always have a place to stay and find food to eat in Shapir. Shamin, Shima, and I cannot thank you enough for helping us recover our stolen treasure. Where do we come up with the name Shapir from? I don't know, rest here we know about.
Yes, rest here we do know.
It is good to be back home, even though I have had troubling news. My old friend Arus al-Din, the Emir of Rasir, is missing. He was a good man, but not as wise as I. We don't think of Abdullah as necessarily particularly wise. Okay.
Yep, that goes fine. Just do it there.
Okay, fine. Yep. It's really morning, but that's okay.
You'll be by
But
the
mostly
time
what
you
I was
actually
trying to do was get to the
that
sound. Sound volume, let's turn that down to 4, seems to work.
Yeah. I love the same.
Series
Maverick
of-
would be a fine name for a thief too.
Ah,
But
so we can ask about
Emir.
Emir. Arus was the kindest of men, quick to hug you and call you brother, but I must admit he was not very brave. Wisdom. Ask about. Oh, ask about whys. Oh well. He
Ask
uses
about
those.
in. Yes, such as is
In.
easy.
Okay. A place to relax, to talk to friends, to eat and drink, to watch entertainment. What better place to be? Dance. Ah, the enchanting Shima, her dance must be seen to be savored. Anyone else got any questions? No.
Nope, probably not. Hey, cap locks on. Gee, I'm glad you chose that.
I'm a little. The land of Shapir may be plagued with elementals and jinns, but this city, now properly the plural of jinn is genie, but people think the genie is singular. The city will ever stand as long as there are heroes such as yourself.
Maverick would be a fine name for an Old West game, yes. The thief is the only character type for whom I change the name in every game on the theory he needs to change aliases and every lazy visits in order to keep one step ahead of his reputation. For the first Robin Hood makes sense, whereas Aladdin makes sense for the second. That really
There we
does.
go.
Here's your morning meal of whatever it was. I didn't get a chance to read it because I was too busy
Eat.
reading that thing. Your breakfast is
Drink.
delicious.
The tea. Ah, now eat and drink are different here, whereas in Heroes Quest they were the same.
Yes. We did try to do a Western game. We proposed a couple of Western games, in fact.
Now, note how we get around the, because they didn't have very good pathfinding in these EGA games. So when I said stand, it put on the dragon head, which is the hands-off cursor. You can't do anything when it's up. And proceeded to animate standing up, and then moved us on a path over to here so that we were clear of the table and such.
Freddy Farkas was a Western game, and it was an adventure game, but we wanted to do a Western role-playing adventure game, which would have combat and things like that.
This is truly what an inn should be, the center to fall, with Shima to dance and the poet Omar to entertain. There will always be something of interest here. So you're getting little clues there. We looked at one point about doing Hero U as a web game, and I asked about Omar. He says, poetry is revered in this land. The words of the poet Omar speak both to the heart and to the mind. And we had it with the idea that it would highlight keywords, and you could click on them to get to follow-ups on them. So effectively what that's doing here is you're supposed to note that some of the words seem important in the text. And ask about room. Your room awaits you just off the passage behind me. You will always have a place to stay here as long as you wish to be our guest. So they're very grateful that we got them out of that icy cold
Wet.
Spielberg. Yeah,
Wet.
cold and wet and
Environment,
nasty.
Yeah. Was it going to be the same style as Quest for Glory? Yes, when we originally proposed it, yes. You're pleased at the delicious smells and delightful ambience of the newly remodeled California.
Wait a minute, Hero U, the same style as Quest for Glory? We went through about 5 different variations. It was going to be a text
eventually.
adventure, then it was going to be
No, the Western? We didn't.
Oh, the Western game.
Western!
Oh, the Western game. Yeah, that would have been same style as Quest for Glory.
Yes, it would have been. I'll never forget the day I was in a used bookstore and found one book that had a chapter on Erasmus and another that had poetry by Omar. I hit the jackpot! I still own the book with the chapter about Erasmus, but never finished it. I might have been too young at the time.
Oh, alas. This says you give the inn 3.5 stars, so apparently they had star ratings. Even back when we did this, or at least by the time they did
Yes.
updated it to be, no, this was always Quest for Glory too.
It should have been 4.5. I mean, this is a great inn.
Yeah, it was a great inn. Should have been 4.5 stars. Maybe it was out on a 4-star scale.
Maybe.
So
What are you doing?
I was trying to remember what that topic you were just talking about. And I was going to
the Western games and things
the Western
like that.
games. I was going to go find our write-up on the Western game.
Which
But that's kind of
Yes,
irrelevant.
it is kind of irrelevant. Just know that we would have been doing a.
It would have been a fantasy, Western with magic and such.
Yes. So it would have been very much like a Quest for Glory game, only a totally different hero. And there we are.
You stranger, you're just in luck. I got everything you need right here. You need a map? I got a map. You need a compass? I got a compass. You need a souvenirs of Shapir for friends and relatives? I got the best souvenirs in town. Yeah, well, I have nothing better to do. Hey, you look like such a fine person. Have I got a deal for you? Oops. Special today only. I sell you a genuine, made in Japan. It should have been in whatever.
That's
We're
right.
Japan. Glow and Dark Turbo says, my father went to Shapiro and all he brought me was. But maybe you got no kids. So then what you want is, right, I got it here, right here. A Shapiro in a bottle. You shake it and you see Shapiro in a sandstorm. I sell it just for you for only twice what it's worth. Map? How you think you're going to find yourself a new map? I sell you one cheap, only 1 dinar. Special edition today says that you are here with a big X. Oh, how useful. Ask about dinar. I can now sell you something else. You got us some dinars or centimes.
Which country had dinars that we were in? Wasn't there a country that had a dinar and we didn't
Oh,
actually
there was.
get
There
one?
was. I just said we should get
Was
something.
Croatia?
Might have been Croatia.
I think
Might have been Bulgaria.
Bulgaria?
I can't remember which one.
One of those uses dinars, and we just didn't manage to get it. I think it was Croatia because we were only there for a day.
Let's see. So Control M, Control L is look at. This guy looks like he could play the piano, but strangely, really. Okay, so ask about gold. Is that what I have? So Shannon sells fine jewelry. So let's look at our inventory. Control I. There we go. We have 150 gold coins and 0 golden dinars and 0 brass centimes.
And we have spells.
So I'm trying to figure out why would you? So I asked about dinars.
You guys are discovering dialogue I never knew was there.
Get dinars. Aren't any here? So I don't know how you get the clue about the money changer. To ask it, why would you ask about money
You try
changer?
and buy something.
Okay, buy map. Wait a minute, what do you think I am, a money changer? You money, it's a no good. You need to get all this change in dinars and centimes before you can buy us something. I have an excuse to ask about money changer.
Yes, yeah.
You want to find the money changers, right? No problem, boss. Well, you go north until you see a way to go left, and you take it away. Now you go until you see a way to go right, and you take that away. Nope, I'm moving. You go until you can see a way to go right, and you go to the right, and then you go to the right again. That's that right way. That's a right way. Go that way until you can turn right. Go right again until you come to a place where you can go right again. Turn left, follow the road, and you can miss it. So those thoroughly. Now, in the game box was a map of the city. What's about you? You know, like a big deal when you see it? Nope. Where have we gone? So here we are in the alleyways. These were,
This looks so simple, doesn't it?
yes.
Oh my God, what a mess this was.
And
months
we had a
of
programmer
work.
named Mark Wilden who took this on from, I had the general idea that I wanted to have a, 3D maze environment. He says, no problem, I can do that. And SCI is an object-oriented language. Now here they've just switched our point of view, which was, again, my decision, but not necessarily a good one. But since you need to be able to see everything in the scene, what we did is we divided the plazas up into 2 halves. And it actually, delicious things for you to eat, says Scory. And Slurry says, mouth tempting. Falafels of fresh roasted ham, dates stuffed with honey almonds. It's certainly you will enjoy. So this is typical of going into a Arabic country where people are constantly trying to sell you stuff. When you get into the north half, now your point of view is flipped. So now the north is at the top.
Yeah, it
And
was a decision on our
It was a
part.
decision, not necessarily good. It's really very confusing.
Yes.
But it does allow you to see more and see all the merchants and the relevant stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Dinar, Algeria, Bahrain, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Libya, North Macedonia, Serbia.
Serbia. Okay,
Serbia,
we were in
fine.
Serbia.
Yeah, and Tunisia. So we were in Serbia too. So that's where we could have picked up dinars, but we didn't get a chance to.
We chose not to. We had some euros, and we ended up
Yeah.
some places we could use euros, and some places we
Yes.
just didn't buy anything.
Obviously, a graduate of famous adventurers correspondence the school, and just as obviously not from around here. The news of your arrival swept through the city like a sandstorm, and given the rarity of fair skin and blonde hair in this part of the world, you won't be hard to identify. All the more reason not to be seen should you choose to engage in any underhanded activities.
Why would we do that?
Lucky thing there wasn't enough memory to make the female ego in those days. Otherwise, they would have had to write a subplot about a blonde woman being abducted in the Middle East and sold to the Sultan's harem. Yes, we should have had that. We would have had.
Or we would have happily written that.
Yeah, we would have had that interesting.
So, there we are in an alley.
Are you going the right way?
Look at you, walking through one of the most twisty streets of the city.
Did you start the right way?
The wall is carrying a torch for you.
Yeah, that's how exciting it is.
It's a door, no doubt about it. I'm going a way. Possibly one he said to go. Now, I think he said to go the right, but I think I'll go the left instead.
Well, you switched to the other side of the screen, so.
Yeah. Oh, that one's a dead end, so it clearly was not the right one, unless that's a turn there. I don't think it
No,
is.
it isn't.
I'm not too good with 3D images.
Even when they're this big.
So anyway, Mark made a whole series of subclasses to handle the alleyways and scenes and so on, and discovered that SCI was a very limited. I could have turned right there. Meager light, but ample.
Yeah, we wanted to do more with the alleys, but we were definitely running out of space.
There's a sign to the right which says Nalfara Darb. Another sign down the street to the left reads Dinar Tariq. Now, since we're dealing with dinars, that sounds pretty good. So let's ignore the directions that we couldn't follow anyway. Or we could have used the map in the book, but...
If you're not going to pull out the map, I can tell you right now that this is going to be the entire stream for today.
Nonsense.
Nah, Corey's good at this for whatever reason.
Okay, here we come to a turn, so let us look again. Sign to the right is Santim Tariq. Sign to the left is Dinar Tariq. Well, we got gold. We're looking for dinars, not centimes. Tariq and Darb are the street names. One of them basically is Arabic for street, and the other one's avenue, something like that.
And we made it so that streets go northwest and avenues go right and
or something like that, except they
Something
twist
that-
around so much that that doesn't apply.
Well, yes, basically they will take you one way or another. Ta-da!
So, what's so hard about that?
Yes, for all you poor people that
Really?
have stated, so we have the stranger to our fair land. Welcome, traveler from afar. Come closer, that you might find all that you seek here. I am Dinarzad, changer of money for Shapir. Would you like to exchange something with me?
Yes. Then.
Hand me your money. Yeah, I don't know how he does it. He's done this many a times. Mostly it helps, reading the...
The woman is very attractive with her
Reading the
dark curly
instructions.
hair and lovely figure. She smiles, inviting it at you. Ask about name.
My name is Dinarzad, which means child of gold coins.
Ask about changing
I
money.
deal in money. I will be only too happy to exchange your old, worn-out foreign money for money which is a bit more practical around here. Is that a bodyguard / bouncer off to the side? You better believe it.
Oop.
Yep,
That
that's
took me back.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yes, that's Frank the guard. He marks you with a glare. Yes, there we go.
Front the guard.
Yes.
Marks you with his glare. You suspect he would give no quarter in a fight. He would likely pound you into ruble. In any case, he has no dime to speak with you. To coin a phrase, to fight him would make no sense. Better leave him alone for a change. I think I wrote this, but probably Laurie collaborated, maybe Fishbach.
Yeah, sounds more Fishbach to me. It sounds
Ask about
fishy.
guard. Takes you back to her. He doesn't talk.
The god Frank is my own and does not speak.
Alright, change money. You have 150 gold coins. Let's change 1 gold coin. You're
I just love these intimate exchanges like this.
alright. We now have 0 golden dinars. What happened to my white gold? She just took it.
Well, jeez.
Well, let's be a sucker and change more.
10.
Alright, now we have 9 golden dinars and 0 brass centimes. So 1 gold coin she just took. Her exchange rate, the way we coded this, is actually worse the more you change at a time. But who cares?
You got
What do we
ripped
need
off.
money for? We'll change the rest of our money.
Was it always intended to have the money changer given the name of Shahrazad's sister? No, it really was putting on the Izad suffix with dinars. So the fact that it worked and that it was a real name was an added bonus. But
So out of our 150 gold, we ended up with 110 golden dinars. This is totally accurate because in Munich airport, we decided to change some dollars into euros, and they had the exchange rate posted, and then they took like a 15% fee on top of that. So it is very common. Okay, now we're a thief. Let us make a thief sign, which is something you learned in the first game to do. You place your thumb upon your nose with the hand held perpendicular to the face, perpendicular, and the fingers outspread. You then wiggle your fingers while focusing your eyes on the thumb and patting your belly with the other hand. Ah, yes, the subtle and cunning thief sign that nobody will notice suspicious. We don't show any of that here in order not to embarrass those people with tender sensibilities. So, you are a jackal among the goats, then? I am very fond of those of the profession. This could be the start of a beautiful relationship. Arlo Hero says, I think the thing with the high exchange rate is that she's a thief. My exchange rate QG3 doesn't charge as a wizard. That is part of it. Come back tomorrow evening or so if you're interested in doing to me a little favor. It could be to our mutual benefit. And do come fully equipped. No one of your profession should travel without the proper tool and a little oil to make the insertion easier. Lori wrote those lines. These are not mine. So do we have any thieves' tools? We do. We have a thieves' tool kit. We don't have any oil. We need some oil.
the money changer in Quest for Glory 3 doesn't charge such an absurd exchange rate.
Yeah.
Well,
She coyly evades your kiss. So partly it is that she is indeed a thief, and partly it's just that,
what the market will bear.
yes, she knows she's a foreigner that has no choice. She is the only money changer in town.
Yeah. And you gotta make your money however you can. You don't think that
She's
many
not there for-
strangers come to this place.
She's not there for charity.
No, you can't tip the guard. There's no interface for that. Dinarzad is only interested in one thing. Don't fall for her.
Ah. Yeah, but we might be interested in the same thing. Do. So I don't know why anyone thinks these alleyways are difficult. So anyway, Mark coded all this and totally proceeded to, I wonder if I was supposed to turn there. Nope.
Did you look?
Did you look? Sign to the right, which says Katal Darbs on your street reads Dinar Tariq. I don't know, that might have been
It's
important.
backwards. You're going back?
I don't think so.
Okay, fine. I'm in awe. I like how it's no problem for you to crack your own copy protection. It wasn't really copy
It was
protection.
never intended to be copy
No,
protection.
it was intended that you could figure out what you were doing.
Nafara Darb, and it's also Nafara Darb.
All right, he managed to get himself confused.
What?
All right, fine.
All roads lead to someplace.
They do. That's a dead end.
Oh,
How
that's
about that?
that's the same dead end I walked down last time, probably.
Ah. So we really appreciate what.
There we go. There's
there it
Plaza.
goes, yeah. Ah, that explains why she's child of gold coins, which Dinarzad, Dunyazad means born of the world. Yes, yes, exactly.
Okay, so this merchant is the lamp merchant, and there is the basket merchant, and here is the plant merchant. Lori likes plants. She has lots and lots of plants.
Yeah,
Buy
we could
oil.
actually have a plant in here if we did.
I have none of those today. Oh dear, the lamp merchant does not sell oil.
No, sorry.
There's a sign on a door. What does that say? It looks like an eye. Quit staring at me! Sign above the door is keeping an eye out for you. Perhaps it leads to the optometrist's office. Well, maybe I don't need to go there then, but I do.
Didn't even know that she was that girl's sister. Thanks for pointing it out. Not oil lamps? Well, they should have been.
Pleased to meet you, and I mean to please you. Well, welcome to my little shop of horrors. Wonder what
Right.
shop it is? It's magic, of course.
I am Keep On Laughing proprietor. You must be Noble Cause. Proud to know you, Noble Cause. Shapir always hopes for heroes. It's sad, Dad, but if you need to climb to the sublime, you need a rope, dope. I happen to have a magic rope for sale, direct from some Hindu who did the best he can do.
Well, I didn't know who's that out of.
Oh, no.
Hello, sailor, new in town. So how you doing, Bruin?
Had any witty conversations? Been chanting with the enchantress yet? Seen all the sights, Justin, or sighting all the scenes? Saw you spell now?
Ask about wit. If you want to be witty, then search in the city. The nitty gritty of the city, you need magic to find. It was
Find it. It
Was designed by a committee.
Auntie Azizi lives off the east end of Smalley's Tyke. Mind your P's and Q's when you go there, or she might send you to you know where. I'm a little low on spells in Spatak, but I do have scrolls of detect magic for a negligible 10 dinars, trigger for only 15, force bolt for a measly 20, levitate for a mere 30 dinars, and Erasmus's razzle dazzle for a paltry 25 dinars.
ooh.
If you intend to climb, a magic rope can give you hope. To make it rise, close your eyes, raise your arms high, and watch it fly. If the time is right and you're in a plight, you can get it across if you give it a toss. Burbachet.
That, of course, is a reference to when we used to drive the highways and back in the 50s, 60s before we were driving.
It's a good tool, fool, but remember the rule. The magic can't last, and on your first cast, it'll
Last
go
cast.
fast. Last cast. So don't waste it, or you might find yourself hanging in the air with nothing there. We have a special on magic ropes this year. It usually costs 12,500 centimes. For a limited time only, though, it's only 125 dinars. So, do you want to scope a rope, Miss Anthrop?
Well, that's almost
Miss
all the money we
Anthrop.
have, so we might not do that.
Yes, Miss Anthrop.
And because we're a magic user, we have levitate, so we might not need a magic rope, but we
Yeah.
probably will. Control I. We have 110 golden dinars after our very expensive exchange rate.
Now I miss this game so much. Unfortunately, I can't get into it when I have
This
to
is
work
the
every
character
day.
sheet. How do you get to spells? Control P.
I'm going to be playing this non-stop once I retire. What did you want? Your spells?
I want to see my spell list.
It's on the inventory
A
screen.
spell?
No, inventory. Control I. There.
Oh, okay. We have open, zap, calm, flame dart, and fetch already.
Yeah. But he mentioned quite a few
Did
that
he
we
mention
didn't
levitate?
have. Yes, he mentioned.
He obviously knows levitate.
It's got its ups and downs, but if you need a lift, this will get you off your feet
Off the ground.
and off the ground.
So
I'm a little low on
he
spells,
does.
yes,
30
yes.
dinars.
Dinos.
Let's
yes.
let's buy that one because
And
it's a lot
force
cheaper than a
bolt.
rope.
Force bolt too. Now let me see where I last saw it. I'll have to look back in the back room. I'll be back in a flash with the stash, Nash.
A beautiful mind. And I'd started to say something was a reference to something before we got another line coming
Oh
out.
well, yes. Silly me. I had it here all
Oh,
the time.
Vermishave.
Abracadabra and didgeridoo, make the thing appear for you. There you go, Joe. Hope you're happy, Pappy. All this animated by Jerry Moore. This is definitely a Jerry Moore room. Eins, zwei, drei, vier. Make it snappy and bring it here. There you go, Joe. Hope you're happy, Pappy.
Well, they seem to go in the back room for that. So anyway, the Burma Shave thing. Along the highways, it used to be that you'd be driving along for hours along these highways, and you would come up a sign that had a little...
One line.
One line. And a little later, you'd get another line that rhymed with it.
Yep.
And then a third line. And then the fourth line would be the end of the rhyme and the little joke and say Burma Shave.
Yep.
Those were all advertisements for Burma Shave shaving cream.
Yep, that was the way they did it in the 650s, probably. If you need to know some knowledge about the magic way, then go and see Aziza, who will enchant you if you stay.
Ah,
Watch out, she's testy, though. So long, farewell, auf
Wiedersehen.
Wiedersehen. Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Uh-huh.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Yes.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye, see you real soon, Effendi, cause I like you.
And now we're, let's see, we're down to 60 dinars, but that's still a lot. North, we want to go south.
I really love what you did in Quest for Glory 4, where the townspeople were afraid of magic, so you had to learn spells from others who were secretly open to it. Thought that was also should have been the case in Quest for Glory 1. Excellent how you incorporated Katrina into it, showing you she uses to magic, really helps you convince you all the more she's your only friend in the beginning. Quest for Glory 4 is just a masterpiece of storytelling more than any other game in the series. Well, I'm glad you liked it.
Well, this
I
one
really
is
certainly-
the masterpiece of puzzles because I was heavily into it. Hello.
Obviously, there you're
I
clicking
get
on yourself
myself, yep.
again. You got to move yourself out of your own way.
Yeah. I can't
Okay.
ask about oil. Oh, I did not notice you come in. This is the apothecary where one can buy many wondrous pills and oils. Yay! I'm Harik. If you need something, just let me know. Buy oil. Oil will cost you 20 centimes. So that's so reasonable. Pay for the container oil and put it away. Let's see how much a centime is. Okay, we have 80 brass centimes and 59 golden dinars. So apparently it is 100 centimes. And since the cent means 100th, 80 centimes to a dinar. So that was totally affordable. Do we need more points? I don't know.
I don't know.
Ask about wares. Oh, he sells vigor pills, healing pills, poison cure pills, and mana pills. Take one pill with water and get plenty of rest. Buy poison cure.
Yeah. You never.
Buy poison. I forget what pill. I forget what it's called. Poison cure pills, huh? If you die because of a pill, then I will gladly refund your money. What a deal. The pot. We don't need a pot. We need a water skin, maybe. Oh, I didn't see. Do we have a water skin?
Yes,
One
mostly
mostly
full.
full water skin. So as we go along, we're using a little bit of water. First game, we used up your food.
Was there a particular reason silvers were only in the first game? No, we wanted to make things, every game to have a different feel, that you really had to think about what you were doing.
My map. Let me see if I got one.
Again, a Jerry Moore animation.
There you go, boss. One map for 1 dinar. You're no gonna regret this, boss. Guaranteed the best in town. You no get your money back. And there's the map, and that's really a pretty good deal for a dinar. It becomes a really good deal when you find out it's magical and you can teleport to places you've already been to.
I bought everything Ellie Chicken sold me. Okay.
As you well should have. Ask about wares. Oh, town person, says Moffent. The townsperson is closer to me than Ali Chica, so the town person grabbed the message and responded to it.
Sadly, Egypt's currency is called the Egyptian pound, not the royal. You would think their Minister of Finance would have done more research before inventing that system.
Ask about things. What's he got? He got a compass.
Yeah.
Compass, you always know which way you're going. It only costs a dinar. Well, it sounds like a deal. Buy compass. One compass for 1 dinar. Should we buy the sand globe? Was that what it was?
I don't think we need to buy a sand globe.
Let me see if I got one. Sorry, boss, I just ran out of them. Maybe you come back tomorrow and I still not have it. Control M maybe for map? No. Control
Shift in? I don't know.
S is character sheet. Control T is tell about. Time of
Read
day.
map, Control R, course.
R for read, of course. Compass heading.
There we go.
North is to up at the moment. Control R. Let's see, what's this looking thing? There's the magic shop, there's the prescriptions we've been, there's the money changer, Fighters Plaza, Palace Plaza.
Control H equals backspace.
Ah, makes sense. Because it was in the original ASCII keyboard mappings, Unix and stuff. Control H is the backspace character. This
What
looks
time of
like
day is
this
it?
looks like Cedric.
I see.
And that's the caddis tail N.
Uh-huh.
The time of day, I don't know. I didn't find the command for that. Information.
Time day.
Control D for day. Sunset approaches.
I guess we won't go out and adventure then.
You want to go to bed this soon?
Well,
Go look and see what's outside.
are you kidding? You get killed?
A charming young cat with a smile for you.
Flowers of beauty, flowers of fragrances, most wonderful. Flowers to bring you cheer to your day.
Yep. I keep walking away because I'm not getting this interface right.
I would be honored to sell you some flowers, hero of the north. They are a mere 10 centimes.
Well, clearly we need to buy flowers. Of course, we're going to overload our inventory.
I hope these flowers will bring you happiness.
I hope so too. I would like to buy some more water skins, but I don't know where they're sold. Haven't found that. Let's go out the front gate. Now,
Is now a good time to save your game?
says Lord Wise. So yes, in fact, when I played the VGA
No, you're the
remake,
stranger the masters are talking about. Okay, fine.
the gate to Shapir is always open, but never have I seen an entrance to the city like yours. To fly on a carpet, it must be grand. That is the guard. So yes, when I played the VGA version of this, I was entranced by their lovely graphics they had done, and completely forgot to save the game. Went out, got into a fight, died, and said restored save game. What save game?
Yeah. Just about everything about this series immerses you and makes you feel like you're really having an adventure. The way there are different times of days and it changes to night and day change. The way you have to earn money and spend it wisely. The dialogue. I just love this series so much. I'm glad we really worked hard for this, to try to get this kind of thing.
And Lori got some Arab English dictionaries and, threw in some Arabic words here and there,
Yes.
just to give it the flavor.
mean,
Al-Wujud
yes,
must
I
have
mean,
come from a
yes.
baby name book or something.
really. Came from something.
Dunes are all like it's easy to lose one's way. Need to be properly prepared or in a caravan.
Yeah, you clearly need to get more water bags, water skins. And the Saurus shop.
See the writing sources unstable over there. They are intelligent and brave creatures Willing to obey the slightest command from the master, they will take you wherever you wish and come to your aid against monsters. Best of all, they can always find their way back to where their stables. You need never get lost. The seller of Sauruses will be here tomorrow. Perhaps you can purchase one then.
I love how you kick up the sand when you're walking in the sand.
Yes. Now this thing you gotta see. The ashtray of Shapir made from imported coconut shell and carved by Kata natives into the face of the Sultan. Not to find of this anywhere else. My ashtray, was that what it is?
I trust him. Buy it.
Let me see if I got one. Sorry, boss, I just ran out of them. Maybe you come back tomorrow and I still not have it. I gotta get the right angle to get in through the door. I hoped you enjoyed your first sights of our beautiful city of Shapir. Thanks, Shameen. You're welcome. Ask about musician. There's much of which I have no knowledge. Ask about dance. And she would dance as fires awaken, at least for Kata. All I had to do was sit down, and here comes Shima with lovely food and drink, and we're in hands off.
Tonight's meal is honeyed lamb with almonds and curried chicken. It is hoped you will enjoy yourself.
Yes, Laurie also researched food appropriate to the region.
Well, yes, but I screwed over some things. But
Oh well, must have got it.
you are, of course, most welcome, my hero. Lamb falafels was called to my attention.
You have a
They-
wonderful meal. There are numerous salads. Oh, lamb falafels. Yes, no, that's the contradiction.
Yeah.
The two main courses: fruit, hot mint tea, dessert, and all the bread you could want. You feel stuffed and content. Fortunately, your strenuous regimen as a hero prevents you from looking as round as Abdullah. Oh my, insulting. Ask about Abdullah. How's he doing? I am Abdullah too. It is an old family name.
It's not right. No, doesn't know that word.
Nothing useful. Maybe there's still time to explore a little. Let's see. Control D. Night is still young. It's by bedtime.
Now you can save. Who's more buff, Graham or the hero?
To sleep until dawn.
Right, we'll get our full night's sleep. We sleep in the nude in this game.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Or at least shirtless.
And that weird tiger
We
skin
look pretty, we look pretty buff there.
worm sliding onto your bed is just kind of bizarre.
That's probably the one you kicked off. Cause
Yeah, obviously you kicked it off.
just like,
Yeah.
well, certain people do.
You could just override that because we
Yeah,
haven't
let's
done
keep
it.
overriding it. Okay.
All right,
let's
go
go
get
get
your
breakfast.
so that we start
Notice
the
that Abdullah's not here. So one of the things that Laurie did that's a little different from most games is that, like in the King's Quests, every scene is its own thing. In here, each scene has events. So if you're here in the morning, Abdullah Du is not there. He's a late sleeper. And the dialogue is different. Dialogue changes day to day as a result of events happening in the game.
it would please if you would come to my dance this evening. So
Yes. No one responds.
Okay. No, he's not nude. We see his boxers in Rasir when he rat pulls.
Oh,
his
yeah, that's
nipples.
right.
Okay, maybe we'll get to that point sometime in this game.
Eat breakfast. Your breakfast is delicious.
Okay. That gets
With
me.
tea. Now, this of course is from Laurie's viewpoint, and she drinks tea all times of the day or not.
Oh
night,
yes,
so-
but you know the tea, the mint tea is very nice from the Persian restaurants and things like that. And Arlo says, thank you so much for giving us this series. I was already drawn to travel, but this is definitely the series that made me consciously want to travel the world. If you had not written this, I can guarantee you I would never have climbed Vesuvius, gone scuba diving in the Red Sea, stood between the paws of the Sphinx, explored the tunnels underneath the world's oldest pyramid, become the only traveler ever to see ancient rock carvings in the Sahara, which prove how civilization began and lived with something
The
else.
last remaining hunter-gatherer tribe in the world, ridden a hot air balloon over the Serengeti, or gone hang gliding over the Swiss Alps. And as your brainiac says, snort. Here's the deal. Snort to dog. Sorry,
Yes,
actually.
that was to
Not
to
that little hero.
Alexander.
But that's all
Who's
right.
more buff, Alexander than the hero?
Ooh.
Alexander doesn't work at it.
So here's the deal. In this game, we have the concept of the famous adventurer's correspondence school for heroes, which is what gets the hero started his way. He reads these booklets written by someone who calls himself the famous adventurer. Well, who is the famous adventurer? And do not forget that Shima dances this night. And I finally figured out that Lori is the famous adventurer because we're the people that talk about all these amazing, beautiful places, but have never gone to any of them.
Special today, guide to sightseeing in beautiful Rasir. Only cost you 1 dinar since it's only got a 1 page.
My guide, clearly go up to him.
You do not need to waste your money and your time. You could snort at me if he likes. We're old S8 friends.
Why are you holding down a button? He auto walks.
It auto works? Okay, fine.
Yes, hit it once and stop.
It's because I don't know how to play these games.
See, she's never played any of them. Anyway, we're the famous adventurer because we write about all these places that we've never been and know nothing about. But we do read. Oh, no, don't go through there. I want to go to the magic shop.
Why do you want to go to the magic shop?
Because we were told
about-
we need to get information from Aziza and we don't know where she is, and he'll be able to tell us. Maybe.
Okay.
Living plants to bring the outdoors inside. Flowers alive. We got flowers from the other place.
Yeah.
Hello. And they'll probably give us a
I love the stuffed
hello,
animals.
bonjour.
Hi, guy. Set a spell or take your shoes off. What may I do to you? I see by your outfit that you know some magic. You see by my outfit that I know some too.
We can see by our outfits that we both know magic.
I guess that we too must eschew.
Eschew. The
Eschew.
hoodoo.
You do.
That's yes. I see by your outfit that you are a
Cowboy.
cowboy. Yes. Ask about
Plane landing on the Coles
Aziza.
lawn. What lawn there is? Yes.
Here we have actual information.
Auntie Azizi lives off to the east end of Shamali Tariq. Mind your P's and Q's.
She might send you nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where that is, but Bone Sewer. After a while, Crocodile.
I really enjoyed, of course, writing dialogue for gnomes. Pretty much anybody. Hey, just got here. Which character class are you playing today? We are a magic user thief combination.
Yes, we're a thief with some magic. Plane landing on the Coles lawn.
Yeah,
We haven't got a lawn
Yeah.
currently.
Wizards all having similar fashion sense could explain the excess of robes, I suppose. Yes. Yes. That's because it's a style and a limited number of colors in the game. Let's
Okay,
get
so
real.
we're looking for Shmali Tariq. I don't think we want a basket.
We don't need a basket now. Have fun. Gonna go back to lurking. Well, lurk, lurk, lurk. Thief with some magic. Those were my favorite. Yes. And this is a good game for it because you get to do so much.
Well,
isn't
so
it?
far we haven't had any combat. Which
Emulating the
is possibly a
magic
good
elite,
thing
of
because
course.
we're terribly bad at it.
Well, if we don't go outside, we don't get into the combat.
Trapdoor and Shmali Tariq. Oh, we're looking for Shmali Tariq. What do you know? That's another guard. Left is Kassadarb.
Right.
Gurkha Singh Khalsa was our producer.
And
Another
right.
sign down the street reads Shmali Tariq, which is where we're going. But I was going to say, let's go find out about our game. Detail, file, information. What happened to silly clowns?
Huh? Silly clowns?
There's no silly clowns.
Yes, there is. Look under information.
There are no silly clowns.
Well, it's somewhere.
Compass reading.
Okay.
East is ahead of us.
It's interesting how fans wish there was more of a backstory for Aziza. For whatever reason, she turned out to be a character that has a certain amount of draw for the fans. I thought
Lori
that
had a
was
lot of fun writing her.
Yes, she was Miss Manners of this
Of,
game,
Shapiro.
of the whole game. Really, I mean, nobody else was as pristine as she was. Prissy.
I suppose we could look at our magic map once in a while. Alright, we're here in the middle of somewhere. That didn't do much good.
No.
That magic map should have been like 100 dinars, except for the fact that we need you to have it.
Right, that was mostly it. Keep going. We wanted to do so much more with these alleyways. I'm sorry they were boring.
And basically, we were on very primitive computers, and there are 8088s and 8086s, and a lot of people didn't even have hard drives, so we were very limited in what we could put into a scene. That's it, Tariq, and this is on your street, which Shmali Tariq. Oh, it's branching again. This seems like just obvious. You look and you get different information, but that was not at all obvious at the time. There was a lot of work into making these looks context sensitive. What sorts of things did you want to do in the alleys? We wanted to have combat. We wanted to have townspeople that you could interact with.
Yeah.
We wanted to have, since you're a thief character, we wanted to be able to break into some of the houses, climb onto the balconies, steal things.
Right, so there were a lot of things we wanted to do, and a lot of things that AGI did with the remake of this game. I think they did an excellent job. So we will eventually get around to playing that.
Now, part of the problem with this is that, we had the 3 characters you could play, and we then later had the Paladin as the 4th character class. And having to have custom content for each of those was kind of crazy, because given limited resources, we might have been better off focusing on one character and giving them the best experience.
But we didn't, because we had no sense.
Left is Kalsadar, right is Kalsadar.
Kalsadar.
My street is Shmali Tariq, so we didn't find her.
No.
Oh.
Okay, we're stuck in that corner. Yeah.
I missed that little turn off. There we go. There's the side street here.
There it
And
is.
that is the little alleyway that leads to a door with an eye on it. Door seems to be watching you,
Reoccurring theory here.
just like the other eye. Reading the map, we now have an eye icon on the map that wasn't there before, and it says Enchantress. Let's knock on the door.
Who
Let's
is
see.
it that seeks to enter?
Okay,
Good question.
before we answer that, we can look at this.
All right.
Arlo says, I think having a female-themed game with 3 character types, which makes sense instead of just having a Arana series that's already established, that she traveled just another time. Yes, but that would have been 6 character designs. Well, actually, we only use 1 character design for all the classes. But 2 character designs, every animation,
No,
like
well, but having
bending, reaching out, and so on.
a female-themed game with
Yes.
3 character types as a female,
Okay.
rather than start.
That we could have done. We wouldn't have been able to reuse any of the old art, but it turns out we didn't reuse any of the old art
Yes,
because every time we made a game was another generation of graphics and changes and storyline, so it all ended up having to be reanimated anyway. The original idea was you would have a character who would go between all the games and we'd be able to reuse the art.
Yep,
Ha.
that was our theory. Brainiac says he has all his old characters, one pure version of each class. The Pally was directly made to emulate how the character included in Quest for Glory 5 is. An honest paladin mage, since it's pretty difficult to avoid magic, and my paladin of irony, where I basically hacked the game to get almost everything, and my class jumpers, where one goes from magic user to thief to fighter to wizard to paladin, and the other mage
Oh, and the other,
the other I
he sure picked up every possible. I made sure
Okay.
picked up every possible in-game class conversations. In other words, I'm cheating paladin.
yeah. I think multiple classes was a big part of the replayability of the series. It's like
Does-
a series of very close parallel worlds.
Does
Yes,
anyone,
that's the way we
Does
thought
anyone
it was
remember the
done.
name we chose?
Yes, that was the thing I was gonna add.
I've already forgotten.
Silk or
No, it wasn't Silk.
Wasn't Slick.
Wasn't Slick. Wasn't Shifty. It was one that somebody gave us, although we might mention it.
Yes, people.
All right, somebody pretty bad must Jester.
Jester, thank you.
If you don't do that right, let's try it wrong. Let's try Jack. You have not answered my question. All right, Jester. Who is it that sent you here? Okay, who is the magic shop owner? With the punny name. It's not Punny Bones, was it?
No, wrong game.
It was Magic Shop. Let's try that. Perhaps you should learn more about who sent you. I do not see strangers who come unbidden. Okay, so
The true irony is you practically need to cheat or behave dishonorably to avoid gaining magic on a pure
I'm
paladin.
going to use my magic map to go here.
You don't remember Keep On Laughing's name?
I do now.
Okay, top of the morning to ya, marhaba. What's new, pussycat?
And now we can. Magic map only works in the streets and plazas.
Of what?
And that would
Way
be
to
a
go,
memory thing.
Pinocchio.
Yep. That would A, be a memory thing, and B, be.
I could
You know,
have told
plus-
you if it asked. I wouldn't know. No, keep on, but
Oop, I went to the wrong place.
you did. You clicked on the wrong place. Ahoy, goy! River Dirty Gertie, adieu to you. Bye for now, Purple Cow.
That's Arrivederci and adieu is adieu.
Yeah, well,
And all the see you later crocodiles and how now purple cow and so on were all things that my mother might have said. Oh, there's the eye.
this is it, yes.
Enchantress. So this magic map is easily worth 100 dinars, but we got it for one.
Yeah, the paladin thing is off. It gives you magic in 3 to let you heal, and then you get to 4, which means you can also cast spells. They fixed it in 5. By then you already know Frostbite, Aura, and others. It's like you have to be a wizard paladin. There is no pure paladin. That's a shame.
What is the element most appropriate to the owner of the magic shop? They weren't told this, but it's got to be air because he's floating in the air.
He's an airhead.
And he's an airhead.
My first is the first, my second the last. Next comes myself, then back to the end and beginning again. Who am I?
And I came up with this one, and I don't remember whether we already had the name or if we modified her name, changed her name to fit it. And we used to, ask each other riddles. We liked riddle books and so on. And they're very abstruse, and it's kind of like guess the designer's mind. But one class of riddles is basically the alphabet, and that you're trying to, you got hints to letters and so on. So if you look at this as the alphabet, my first is the first, that would be the letter A. My second the last, Z. Next comes myself, I. Then back to the end, Z, and beginning again, A. And that's Aziza. And we were told by Keep On Laughing that she's either Azizi or Aziza.
So you had a clue.
So we have had clues even without the riddle. So who am I? The trick is to say who am I is the woman who's asking that. I just used the name, Keep On Laughing, didn't bother with any readings. Well, we have solved the riddle, because I wrote it, makes it easier. You may enter freely into my home, Jester, and we have a hands-off cursor, nothing's happening. And a hands-off cursor, we weren't hands-off, how weird.
Come in, sit down, and be welcome.
I guess we better do that, or we could look around. It's actually quite a drop. You'd better use the steps. The air is humid and the decor is sea green. Aziza keeps a tidy house. We automatically kneel.
I really like.
Shall we share tea? Yes. More proper would have been thank you. tea is cool and refreshing. You find yourself relaxing as you drink and listen to the sound of flowing water.
Did you design the room, items she has, and so on, or was that the graphic artist? Are these all this is the graphic.
Collaborations.
Mostly, it's what the room had to have, and then you get the artist's rendition and things like that. And despite the fact this kind of looks like a Jerry Moore thing, the way the style of the art and this could be a Ken Nishaway room.
If you seek the Wizard's Institute of Technossery, you will need to use the very thing for which you seek it. What?
I think I found her door by choosing to explore and make my own map. I was really proud when I figured out her name. Oh, congratulations. Yes, this is my favorite room and my favorite character. The magic I work with mostly is water magic, that of knowledge and true seeing. As water can reflect, I too can reflect spells back upon the caster. There is much magic in this land, some of a very dark nature.
I'll tell about Magic Mirror from the first game.
It is wise of you to have told me that. The more information I have, the better I can judge things.
Which can fool you into thinking that she actually understood that. The game actually understood that. You can right-click on things. There's a purposeless porpoise. There's a bottle of butter-flavored syrup. That would be Mrs. Butterfield's.
Butterworth.
Miss Butterworth. It's Shirley Puzzleworthy. See, Nona bought a fan mail from some flounder. Who had used fan mail for Floundo's?
Bullwinkle and Rocky
yeah.
Bullwinkle show.
Let's see. Oh. Amazing. Someone actually built a computer in a bottle. How do you do that? You see a bug in a bottle.
It looks like a Klein model there, I think.
It does.
I think it's supposed to be. Was it deliberate for her to seem like an older female relative? No, it wasn't. It's just that is her.
Very few pixels.
If you please, I'd rather talk of something else. Just to make her feel like a. Rasir was like a twin to Shapir until a year ago this month. The Amir Arus was overthrown and disappeared. His brother now sits upon the throne. There is a darkness over the city, though, which I cannot see with all my magic. Through which I cannot see with all my magic. The city was built around the magic fountain, which flows freely. It is protected by the mountains and the desert, and has known only peace and prosperity until now.
Let's see if she knows anything about Omar.
His poetry speaks more than mere words. The Emir Arus
Asked about Arus and she didn't know
was
that.
a foolish man who ruled more with his heart than his hand. There was magic involved in his disappearance. Since he has been gone, the city of Rasir has fallen into dark times, and many have fled from the new tyranny.
Okay, ask about water.
Water is the element of healing and life. I use it in all of my magical workings. This was the concept again of, it has been a pleasure conversing with you. The concept of the elements in this game. That this was, the summer game. We're in the desert in the hot summer. And each of these characters is a different element. So Aziza is the element of water. And Keep On Laughing is the element of air. And then we have the apothecary being the element of fire.
And one of the inspirations for this was the Arabian Nights tales and the tale of Shahrazad, which was recursive stories within stories. Mm-hmm. And so the idea is that our entire series was supposed to kind of have an elemental theme for each game. And this game has all of the 4 elements within the game.
Yeah.
And we have a number of things in here that are basically things within. Now, yes, the eloquent speaking style. Miss Manners, basically, she is supposed to, be the proper lady that you use proper things.
Uh-huh. I was never sure who Earth was. Uhura and Rakesh kind of felt like it to me. Yes, exactly. They are the Earth.
Actually,
the Earth element. They are the element of protection and solidity and grounded. His wages of war's element quintessence.
Quintessence, the element of quintessence. I
I
don't know.
would not have thought of that at all, since I can't even hardly pronounce the stupid word. What are you doing?
I'm going back here because I'm going to
What about
Cast,
Aziz's look? Did it have
detect,
anything in mind, or was that all that was
magic.
mostly that?
You don't
Don't
know that spell. Ah,
Jeez.
well. Let's go teleport back to the magic shop and see if we can buy it.
Does he have it?
Maybe.
Bonjour.
Buy, detect, magic. Now, can we afford it is the question.
Nothing up my sleeve.
Press.
Presso Chango. Rio Rango.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. There you go, Joe. Hope you're happy,
Now,
Pappy.
do we have to read these or are
I
they in
don't think
inventory?
so. Go look at inventory. Go giving Gloriana his own.
Yep, we
fifth
have
opponent. I
detect
suppose it
magic
could be
spell
pizza.
now.
Okay.
And we're down to 25 golden dinars and 70 breasts, some teams. Long way down for 150 gold.
Okay. What time of day is it?
When you think about that, think better about that. You probably end up with ants in your pants, egg in your face, and a pie in your eye. Control D was time of day. It is midday.
Okay.
Lots of time to explore.
Yes.
Oh, now all the things around here. There's a Rosella doll from King's Quest IV, and there's a dragon hand puppet. There's a Cookie Monster. How odd. There's a puppet that is either Cecil the Seasick Sea Serpent, a cartoon we watched in our youth, Ollie the Dragon. I didn't watch that one.
Ollie the Dragon
Or
was also
Zippy the Pinhead, which was a much later comic.
Ollie the Dragon was definitely a sock puppet thing.
Or Zippy the Pinhead.
Depending upon which way.
So the
So
counterculture stuff.
even we have references here that go beyond our ability to tell you what
Yep.
it is.
You can burn, there's a toaster I clicked on, said you can burn 2 pieces at once with this baby. Now, if only someone would invent electricity and maybe an outlet extension cord. Books in many languages, few of which are comprehensible. You do recognize old favorites such as Ghost Riders in the Sky. Play on Ghost Riders in the Sky song. Which, of course, we always misheard as Ghost Riders. So. Michelin Man, the Stave Puft Marshmallow Man? No, it's the Doughberry Pills Boy,
Yes.
as opposed to the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah.
We're a big fan of Ghostbusters movie. This was Keep-On's biggest fan until things took a turn for the worse. Keep-On grew tired of being Blade for a fool. Here are Pinwheels, the name we Keep-On toy around with. Here is... No, you're wrong. It's the USS Exit Prize, not the Enterprise.
That's how you know it's Jerry Moore.
There's a self-motivating, horizontally situated windmill, or it might be a giant. They might be giants. To err is human. They're either eggplants and a new doll called Baby Antwerp, which when turned on his back promptly explodes. And Orats on a Stick. That's from the Space Quest series. Lady asks Keep-On for liniment with which to rub her chickens, but he thought she said 2 rubber chickens. At least she never paid for them or cooked them home.
So that was the first reference to
Rubber
rubber
chickens?
chickens in our game.
Yes.
However, we do go back to it. In this time, they hadn't discovered the earth, air, fire, air, and water are not actually elements, right?
Guess detect magic.
Huh?
You detect no magic here.
Wow, that's the magic design. You should have detected it in front of the building.
Maybe it wasn't for close enough.
Oh, what did he say?
Would you honor this humble cata by something or
Oh,
other?
well, we didn't get it. Doesn't matter. We will never know. He's gone.
Saba the basket merchant. Ask about Saba. I am Saba and my husband. Oh, that's a woman. My husband Tasman and my 3 daughters help weave the baskets. Ask about baskets. My baskets are made of reeds brought from the east, hand-dyed and woven by myself and my family. They cost but 1 dinar each. Well, if we had any reason to have a basket,
We don't at the moment.
well, there's the one theory of you should pick up everything you can get.
Right, but we probably don't need to
I can't get through that doorway.
get it.
Okay, let's cast Detect Magic again. I don't trust any scientist who grew up on Captain Planet. Ah, Magical Arrow shows up.
Wow.
So pretty good. Now let's see how we're doing on. No, the character sheet actually is what I need. Says that our magic points are now down to 31 out of 35. So that costs us 4 magic points. So if we do too much magic casting,
It was. I'm sure Dr. Cranium has no idea what you're talking about. Yes.
it says ignore.
Nor Dr. Pretorius or Mobius or Dr. Von Braun. He might have more of a clue. 2 of them. You know, it would be nice if those were significant and you needed to follow them. Who are totally reputable and not at all suspect in their actions involving grave robbery and other things. Yes. So yes, being able to pick pockets, that would have been nice. Being able to follow people through these alleyways, that would
Yes.
be very cool too. There were a lot of potential things to do. Huh, interesting. What?
Yep. I tried to go through the door and I missed.
Huh.
Yep. I could probably actually do this by clicking.
I did like the addition of pickpocketing in Quest for Way 5, but agree it was a bit late, yeah. Or you could steal stuff from merchants in this and future games. That's always a possibility. What we didn't want was the consequences of getting caught. But you could easily have that and end the game. Yep. Did you pass a?
Did I?
You passed a wall in.
That's where it came from.
Okay, we need to go that one.
So yeah, it's 24 out of 37.
Just go to find it, and then we can come back the next day once we get there.
Once it's on our magic map.
Yeah, exactly.
So we don't even know what we're looking for, but she said something about to find wit. We need to use that which we're looking for, so that would be magic. And detect magic seemed like an obvious spell, especially since we wrote the games to know that.
Yeah, it helps to know.
A lot of the times, these mysteries are less mystery.
Don't be so hard on yourselves. I never missed those from this game. The only
No,
thing
no. We're not hard on ourselves.
Yeah,
it's just
limitations and things like that.
we knew that you always work within limitations. Like one of the things I learned in calculus class is the idea that when you have restrictions, that's the only time you can really solve an equation, solve a puzzle. So in the real world, if you're trying to write a program, if somebody says write a program, yeah, you can do something, but it won't be useful. But if they say write an adventure game with an Arabian Nights setting, okay, now you've got some context for it, and then you drill down from there into more and more specific, and then you can actually do something. So we did what we could do, and we had a lot of restrictions in
But
terms
we
of.
always had more ideas than we had abilities to pull them off.
This game had like a $250,000 budget. Actually, it ended up costing about $450,000, but most of that cost was because they insisted that we use all the techniques that would be used for the VGA games.
Yep.
So this was designed to be turned to VGA, but it was the last of Sierra's EGA games.
You look at the map after to triangulate. I don't know.
Everyone with stealth could rip off the hill in the first game. Problem is that led to a dead end. Yeah,
We don't like
there
dead
should,
ends.
we don't like dead ends. There
That
should
was our
be.
problem.
Nope. There should always be a way back from the abyss.
Or a death message.
Yeah.
There should have been a death message right away. Immediate response
It
to
says,
consequences.
you've offended the healer,
Yeah.
And
Like, for instance,
You're not a hero.
Terry or whatever the one in the
Terry.
inside the pterodactyl could suddenly squawk if you were stealing something, and she could see that it notify you, and then that sort of thing gives you immediate response to what you did.
So we know these arrows are probably leading us somewhere. We're not quite
well,
sure.
look at the
where.
map. Find out where we are in this point. Yep,
Okay.
No, don't. Yes.
Read the map.
Oh, we're way
We're
over
way
that.
up there.
We have
Okay.
to keep going.
What we're trying to get is that pointy thing up there, but we don't know that.
No.
So we're probably kind of going around circles. And there was probably a much shorter route if we had just gone up that road.
Oh well.
So
But we could get there.
eventually, if we don't run out of mana points,
What?
that says we need to go to the left there. So we're going to have to go to the right first. So we'll turn left. Townspeople.
Swapping coins with the drummer in Quest for the White 3 just causes him to move his dish, so you can't do it again.
Ah,
Could have been much worse given how they treat thieves in Tarna. Exactly. Do you think he ever comes back and enrolls in wit? No. The choice.
we make it an unpleasant choice. So.
And in Tilly's Tale, somebody does choose to go to wit and enroll in wit. So therefore, we do have.
Is that Centaur? Or
Yes, yeah. Fritz does wit.
Okay, let's look at our map again and see where
But not hero.
we're supposed to turn left. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting to the place where I know we're trying to get, but the hero doesn't. It's also only going to take me one way
Oh
out.
yeah, we have to go talk to the money changer too. We need to see Shima's dance. We don't want to lose Shima, but we also want to talk to Dinarzad late at night.
Oh, maybe I need to go in that door there. Except I know you can't.
You
So.
can't, so.
Oop. I'll get all turned around.
Right.
I'm just going to try and knock on the door, but
Oh, but
it's a
there's
dead
nothing
end. There's
here.
nothing here. Oh, magic door! Door
Yay.
appears. And to get that, we used up 28 of our 39 spell points.
So that's a good thing too.
But you'll note our magic ability has changed. It is up to 32, and may have changed previously. I haven't been keeping attention. But I think we started at 20.
So
So
therefore,
we've gained quite a bit of magic by doing all these detect magics.
and this is good. Yes.
Practice makes perfect.
And academia has its place, but not really for misfits and heroes. Correct. You're gonna knock.
Knock
What
on
time is
door.
it?
It's mid-afternoon.
Okay.
No one hears you knocking. Cast open spell. Oh, we get a cursor. Need to put it on the door instead of me. Oh, stars. I'm going to fall off a cliff. Wow, it's quite a place.
You have entered a very strange place. The path you walk on seems to be carved from ivory.
Ivory.
The walls around you seem carved marble. This is the ivory towers type of thing.
Ah,
Exactly.
that's a...
Between the walls and the path is a gap through which you view total darkness when you look down. When you look up, you see the same limitless black. You have a funny feeling that you aren't in Shapir anymore.
aren't in Kansas anymore from Wizard of Oz.
Yes, you have been walking through the halls hung with portraits of many wizards. At last, you come to some pictures that you recognize.
You hear several voices.
Who are you that enters the
That's
lofty
maybe-
portals of the...
Wizards Institute of Technosophy. Alright, they said Control H. It's backspace. I think Control C raises it all.
Let's find out whether this version recognizes Merlin.
Why have you sought to enter into the Wizards Institute of Technosophy? Learn magic. Who do you call upon to be your sponsor and mentor in these hallowed halls of the Wizards Institute of Technology? Technosophy. Save game. Ah, it lets me do that without being taken as an answer.
I like how wit exams make you rethink how to apply certain spells. I got the same joy out of some of the applications and drafts in Loom.
Yeah, I had fun with that, coming up with puzzles based on, and we all collaborated on them. I always wondered what Arana looked like. She reminds you of Genesta, a fairy you once knew, and that's Arana.
Okay.
She's a lovely blonde lady.
In that
The
picture.
portrait of Erasmus appears to be a duplicate of the one you remember hanging in his house in Salverberg. You think he perhaps has a few more crinkles around his eyes. Like most of the wizards, Zara's expression is serious and intense. She shows little propensity towards humor. The portrait is politely formal, befitting on Aziza the Enchantress. The portrait shows a wizard with severe nature, appears totally humorless. And this picture is entirely black.
This is, of course, a Jerry Moore room. You can tell. I call upon the blackout portrait to sponsor me. Wizard's response, this isn't the remake. Shut up and play along.
Ah, that's funny. It doesn't look anything like the way Peter Ledger drew him in Conquest of Camelot, that big Merlin. This portrait shows Harry Houdini in a typical state of intense concentration.
Which, of course, we only got half of the picture, half of their paintings.
Aziza, Enchantress of Shapir, Wizard of Water, do you accept Jester to be your initiate into the Wizards Institute of Technology, Nasri? After all, she's the one who sent us here, so I gave her name.
I was wondering if you could call upon... I cannot pass judgment upon the candidate until I have worked with him for some months. I am unwilling to have someone I do not know well as my initiate. Dark Master, not Dark One. Avuzal
Those
is not a
cheers.
graduate.
Black. Cyrus Black. That is not an appropriate sponsor. And I don't think we know the name Dark Master, so we can't do that. Merlin. Trismegister Merlin, 3 times Master. Merlin Ambrosius, Wizard of the Isle of Gramarye. Do you accept Jester to be your initiate into the Wizards Institute of Technology?
Added Vis, not also expelled. Typical misogynists. Yes.
Have we met before? No, I don't believe so. Sorry. Let's choose another sponsor. How about Fenris?
No, don't do offended. But you could do Keep on Laughing.
Keep on laughing. That is not an appropriate sponsor.
At least they don't kick you out when you get 3 wrong.
Zara.
You could, but Zara, really?
Zara Shashina. I didn't know she had a last
I
name.
didn't know either.
Zara Shashino. I have to remember that's canon now. Wizard of the Eastern Woods.
It's canon then, too, Corey.
Huh?
Apparently, it's not just canon now, it's canon then.
It was canon then, yes. Do you accept Jester to be your initiate? Twit.
Outside of the few spells I gave him, I have no knowledge of his skills or ability. I will not accept responsibility for him.
Let's choose another sponsor. How much have we recovered any magic doing this? No, we haven't.
We
We're
can't
really
do
low.
this, so,
Erasmus. All right, Fenris. That is not appropriate.
Especially since
escape room.
Oh, that is interesting.
How did we get that? I don't know.
Another name for Great Britain. Yes, that's what.
Well,
Gramarye.
Gramarye was a term in old folk songs and so on for magic. So if you had someone who went to study their Gramarye, they were not learning grammar. They were learning how to do magical spells.
There is a moment of silence. Do you actually request such a whimsical wizard to be your sponsor?
That was the choice he made. But you know
No,
what
what
Erasmus
is like. Do we have to endure his sense of levity?
Arlo Hero used to use the screen name Erasmus on AIM, and I made a bot with the screen name Fenris.
And Kipling used the term in Puck's song. Yes, and
The term Gramarye? Yeah.
right.
The Isle of Gramarye, the Island of Magic. Erasmus von Spielborg is my SCA persona. And I managed to justify that as being an appropriate period name.
It was the initiate's decision. Let him abide with it.
Very well. Magister Erasmus of Zauberberg, Archmage extraordinaire, Do you accept Jester to be your initiate into the Wizards Institute of Technossery?
Your familiar voice of Erasmus.
Oh, let me see. Jester. Oh, yes, the young hero who was so bright. That would be the blonde hair, of course.
Squeaky voice of Empress. You'd think anyone who laughs at one of your jokes to be intelligent.
A good sense of humor is an excellent indicator of superior intellect.
Yes, but the key word is good.
Erasmus, do you or do you not accept Jester? I, Magister Erasmus of Zauberberg, do hereby accept Jester as my initiate for wit. Wizards Institute of Technossery. Of course. Now, hero Spielberg, before you can be initiated into wit,
Wizards Institute of Technossery.
at Wizards Institute of Technossery, you must first prove you're magically and mentally worthy. You're presented with a choice of 3 objects. Using the spells at your command, you must chose the correct object. Typo. Move it to the stand and cause it to ring. Using only 3 spells. A little redundant. The choice of the first 2 spells should be self-evident, and the third is also...
Erasmus!
All right. Well, good luck, young hero. Remember the joke about the man who grew more mellow as he grew balder.
He no longer had harebrained schemes?
No, he no longer had such a hair-triggered temper. Erasmus! Very well then, young hero. Please step into the dark room. Purely a formality. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing gonna be alright. Ouch, my nose! We're hands off, so we go in there whether we want to.
So everybody must have a different initiation thing.
Yep, but we only
But
allow
the,
the
yes,
Erasmuses.
the only one you get is Erasmus's, yes. Kipling was probably referring to the Magic Isle instead of Britain proper. And Avalon be the Isle of Magic? Well, it's not in the...
Or maybe it's just another name for England.
yeah, it's...
She is not any common earth, water, wood, or air, but Merlin's Isle of Gramarye,
where you and I will fare, yes.
I've always assumed that was England is the magical place.
But then I always thought it was Ireland because this was, you're going to the west, to the
That's
islands
true.
of the west, so...
Ireland's a pretty magical place.
That you should have been able to cast force.
That we've never been to, but we're the famous adventurers, so we can know
there
all
we
about.
go. There's your reference for all you people that have to follow references because that's it. I will point out it's getting late, Corey, so we need to.
I know. I was trying to save and I couldn't because.
We could pick this up next time here.
But you find yourself, but you can't because.
Okay. For some
Well,
reason,
we had a save, but then we'd have to go through the
Right.
next section.
Right.
For some reason, you kind of move your legs, so you see nothing constrain them. A strange feeling passes through. Someone were examining you very closely. I see now that you are not magically prepared for this test. You need to go out into the world and learn a bit more before returning.
Oh, good. I didn't realize they kicked you out.
They kicked us out and we fall down.
Yay! Very good. Let's save the game and quit here.
Unless we go back to the end.
Well, we could go back to the end. You can use the map. Yeah, we don't have all the
It's
spells.
mid-afternoon.
Yes, but go to the inn and we'll save there, and that's where we'll end it.
So we have open, we have detect magic. We do not have the trigger spell.
Yes. But I'm glad they did this and said, right away, yes, that you need to get more stuff. Because that's means you're not wasting a lot of time here. And besides, then you get to have the excitement of doing this. Anyway, that's Quest for Glory 2. We will be playing it for the rest of however long it takes us to get to the end of the game. And we will have all sorts of witty conversations about it. We have we need to see if if the convention interferes with our live stream, so go look on that.
Yes, so we have a convention coming up. We will quit the game. If it's time to split, do you mind if I join you?
At least it
Banana
isn't the
split
quiche,
and so on.
it isn't the
Close.
quiche joke that's
Yep.
ad infinitum.
All right, let us see the calendar. The calendar says today is the 29th of June. Our next stream will be in 2 weeks
13th.
on the 13th of
And
July.
the following will
And the
be
following week is the 27th of July. There will not be a stream on the 27th of July because we will be in Tacoma, Washington at the Adventure Game Hotspot Fanfare, which I will find information about. It is...
I'm working on attending the AGFF if I can get the time. I just
Adventure
missed
Game
it.
Fanfare. Here it is, adventuregamefanfare.com. I will link that as soon as we get there. Dink, 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 dink.
And it is a
This is the
fan-filled game thing.
this will be at the University of Washington. My brother just went to University of Wisconsin. I can't say W any other way.
Looking forward to meeting you both at the fanfare. Well, we hope to see you there. We really
Absolutely. University of Washington in Tacoma, which is a twin city with Seattle. The airport is called SeaTac, which is Seattle-Tacoma Airport.
Well, yeah, I guess you won't see us for a while. Well, thank you, Arlo. We'll miss you. We will miss you at the next week.
July. Where's Arlo going?
Arlo's not going to be there next week.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Even if I don't make it physically, I'm a digital backer.
And
so
we do
cool.
post all these to the Hero U Road to Redemption channel on YouTube, which should have been the Transcendor Games channel, but it isn't. YouTube.com. Hero U Road to Redemption. View your channel it's at Hero U-Game. Or this is the long form of it, but so you can search for at Hero U Game. Does it have a plug? I don't remember. And that'll take you to the same place.
Yep. So, at any rate, thank you all for coming. We really appreciate this, and we'll see you.
But I was going to say a
weeks,
little bit more about the fanfare.
Well, we will next week. We'll really go.
I was just going to say the guests of the
guests
fanfare
are amazing people.
If you are into adventure games, you will like Ken Allen, musician, Dominic Armato, Richard Aronson. He was the lead programmer for Conquest of the Longbow.
And Quest
Charles
for Glory,
Cecil
too.
from England of the Longest Journey, I believe, or Broken Sword, maybe Broken Sword, maybe both. Some voice actors, Corey and Laurie
Yes,
Cole.
several
Hey,
voice
those
actors.
are nicer pictures of us. Those, I think those are our passport photos.
Those are our passports, yes.
So you can steal our
Graham
passports.
Devine's going to be there. Okay.
Oh, Graham Devine, yeah, seventh guest.
Wow. And Ivy, voice actress.
Ivy Dupler,
yes,
voice actress.
Dave Gilbert.
Al Eufrazio,
Al.
who worked with us on Hero U and worked at the Bellevue
Sierra.
office of Sierra. Dave Gilbert, Watch It Eye Games.
Neil Halford.
Neil Halford from the role-playing game.
Whichever.
The
Anyway,
one by someone that we liked.
they're going to have a
Don't come to
Lucas
mind.
reunion
Robert
tonight. Sierra's
Heitman.
is-
Robert Heitman was my original boss at Sierra. He was
Yes.
manager of the programmers. Jane
Doug
Jensen,
Herring.
Robert Holmes, Doug Herring. So
Just people,
These are
and
just-
people like Alan Lowe.
this
you know,
this is an incredible
And-
rogues gallery of
Ken
it.
Williams and Roberta Williams. So yeah, there are.
And they
a few
don't go
reasons-
anywhere. So
Right, yes.
you don't see them at conventions. So this is going to be a fantastic experience that you will not be able to repeat anywhere else. Are they doing this every year? Unclear. They are losing money so far. They're quite a bit in the hole, I've heard.
Bob Heitman has had a health problem in the past, yes, but
Yes.
he's still going to be there. And
Yeah.
he was there at the Sierra reunion that we missed. That was up in the Sierras.
I mean, we could talk about any of these people for an hour
Yes.
each. So
and so next time we will talk about this in great length.
yeah, because we'll be 2 weeks from it
And
by
we'll,
then.
and we'll be able to figure out what we're actually doing. We should have some, publicity stuff.
We
And
could
here's
run.
the poor
We could
people
run
that had
2
to
more
work
streams
this.
in the weeks in between. You
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, this is quite an event. It's going to be very
Indeed.
exciting. Get together of a lot of the Sierra alumni and other famous adventure game designers.
So it is an experience. It is a once in a lifetime.
And we'll bring some merch to sell. So we'll have some stuff for sale.
So if you can get there, I really recommend it because it's going to be something. It's you miss it, you snooze, you lose.
AdventureGameFanfare.com. No E in the end.
Okay.
So we'll see you in
next.
2 weeks.
Yes, darling. See
Be
ya.
well and keep on adventuring.
Yes. Bye bye.